Ready as I'll ever be. Welcome to another episode of the Nielsen Ratings with me, Steen Anthony Nielsen, the man whose name is as long as the list of plays he's directed, 15 now, including the recent False Accounts, which we've been trying to get back on tour, having first done it in 2022. There is a crowdfunding campaign for that, which you can see on GoFundMe. I'll get one of my kind mods to drop the link for that in the chat. We were hoping to have some publicity for that show in national newspapers and things this week. But unfortunately, it did not materialize, certainly in the way that I was expecting. So we're still searching actively for funding. Maybe we'll get to do the show again. Maybe we won't. But that's enough on that topic for today, because we're going to talk about the films and TV shows that we have seen recently, old and new. Going to be plugging a couple of older ones, as well as some new stuff, as well as hearing what my guests think of things like Masters of the Air, the trailer for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which dropped today, which I did a little reaction video for earlier. It is on the channel if you want to check it out. But we're going to be covering a whole plethora of topics here. Some of them are scrolling along the bottom. Let me bring in the first of my regular crew. It's always good to see them. It makes Tuesday nights, which is not generally considered to be one of the more exciting days of the week, that bit more perky, especially when you've got a blue-collared loser in the house.
Oh, yeah. I'm perky.
Yeah, you're always perky, man. How's it going?
I'm kind of hungover from last night because of Enzo, but...
Yeah. How much cocaine is in that drink? What's going on?
It's Diet Pepsi. Yeah.
What is that?
It's
like mustard. Oh, okay. It's the color of the... I thought you were drinking a big...
this was the official 2024 cup, so you can go in there and refill it in unlimited times. So,
the official 2024 cup of what?
Yeah. Of Regal, say 2024.
Regal. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pretend that I know what that is, and we'll carry on. Now, to ensure that I'm not outnumbered by people from the West, I've also got someone from the North. Here he is.
Hey, up me laddies.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you all?
Pretty good. I'm sure it's unintentional, but you're coming across as sounding vaguely stoned.
No. Just stoned on life and beer and meth and crack.
Okay, fantastic. For all you kids watching, we do not recommend taking intoxicants.
No, we don't.
At home of any kind. Go to school, do your homework, get good qualifications, get a good job. In the meantime, if you can't achieve those things, you can always talk to Stepenzo.
Yep, I'm always here for you folks. I'm always here.
Right. Yeah.
In the man cave. How much soda are you drinking right now for breakfast?
I mean,
that's like 35 ounces of soda.
I'm refilled like 3 times.
Oh my God, dude, you're gonna die.
What is that? That's what is that?
Was it? You have AMC's theaters. We have Regal Cinemas.
Yeah,
so,
Regal's
movie
theater chain. Yeah.
But they made these for so
that's like the free
unlimited refills at your movie theater. Ugh.
Right.
So
I'm surprised scientists are bloody experimenting on you right now.
That's what I said. I caught COVID, and COVID was scared of me. Like it just ran away.
In case peeing 3 times during Batman, isn't enough, here's another jumbo soda cup for you to consume.
He just wears a diaper to the movie theater.
Oh, okay. Is that blue collar? Yeah. Look, blue collar looks sober. What happened? That's a good question.
Well, we were streaming until 3 o'clock in the morning with Enzo. So
you blame me for like your alcohol consumption. I was like, what?
What were you? Was that a regular? That was your regular thing last night?
Yeah. Well,
the Tales for the Dork Side. We did another late night episode. We had to do a Dork Side After Dark last night because we were talking about all the risque Taylor Swift art. And after the show was over, that's when I got to show Blue Collar, like all the uncensored crazy crap that I couldn't,
Oh, cool. We look forward to that. We look forward to that in the green room. I'm not sure if I want to see it.
No, you don't. I just wish YouTube was cool, where we could just like look at weird Funtari pictures and laugh at them, on the internet.
Well, we'll get to do that to some degree on our thing stream coming up
I can't wait.
The recent remake from Jim Henson Studios.
All right.
So,
That.
moving on, welcome to you all to this fine Tuesday evening. Hope you've all had a fantastic weekend and cracking start to the week.
Oh yeah.
Well, Northern English Bastard is cracking.
I had a load of people over for dinner on Saturday, which was very pleasant. First time I've cooked dinner for people at
What'd you cook?
flat in absolutely ages. I kind of because I didn't have any vegetarians or vegans, I did do
Sorry.
that. Actually,
I'm from
'cause
Texas. I'm from Texas.
It is helpful, you know, when you've got to get into the minutiae of 5 different dietary requirements with 5 different guests. That
What presumption? What presumption of your guests to like demand you cater your menu to them?
No.
If I ever came over, Lance,
no one did.
Whatever you want.
I asked people if they, you know, unfortunately, all 5 of these people were like, I eat anything. And the people that cancelled were the vegetarians. So as soon as I knew we were committed, I did a really, really, really creamy bolognese lasagna. So it was like super juicy, but was kind of crispy on the top. And it went down really well. I mean, there was not a shred of it left.
Nice.
And a big fruit salad, which I forgot to put the oranges in, but next time. So we had a good time. Drank endless bottles of prosecco. Some of my guests were good enough to bring 2. I think that's always a sign of people that are committed to a good evening. So that was the Age Against the Machine crew, which I'll be going out and dancing with on Friday. And actually, I showed them this channel while they were here. And when I was sitting in this very seat, and when I put up a stream with me talking to Retro Nerd Girl, they got very confused. They were like, "Are you live now?" And I said, "No, look, I'm wearing different clothes on the television." So they were trying to grasp the intimacies of YouTube. Anyway, let's talk about stuff we've seen. Now, I've done a big stream on Masters of the Air. I know some of you haven't seen it. Has anybody watched episodes 1 and 2 yet, apart from me?
Oh yeah, no. After you text me, I said I felt bad because we've been doing so many live streams, seeing you and Enzo and then Luke doing Heat, and I'm like, I fell asleep and I woke up. Lance like, "Hey, you want to come up?" I'm like, "Oh, I forgot it was even on." So after you text me, I watched episode 1 and 2 back to back, and wow, I was blown away.
It is pretty good. I would have liked. I said on the stream I would have liked another episode, or I would have liked the first episode just to be all set up and characters, and I would have liked to see some of the things we didn't see in Band of Brothers. I would have liked maybe one scene with one character at home leaving the parents, you know, some of that stuff. But it's not that stuff's needed. It's just, you know, if there's anything anything you see of these people's personal lives raises the stakes of their loss.
Yeah.
So I was always up for seeing a bit more of that. I would have liked to have seen scenes with them training the first time they actually take off in a bomber, as opposed to the first time we see them in a bomber is them flying the bombers over to Greenland.
Yeah.
So
definitely get right into it.
Yeah, it did dive in a bit quick, but that is a minor. If that's the only sort of gripe I've really got, anything else is very minor. I'm pretty happy with the show, and I'm looking forward.
How many episodes total will there be?
9.
Oh, cool.
So they're dropping weekly from here on out. I'm doing an immediate review every Friday because they drop around 5 a.m. on the Friday UK time. So as soon as I get up on Friday, I watch it.
It's like your Saturday morning cartoons, like war movies.
It's like funny, isn't it, when you think about it? Used to be animated Star Trek when I was a kid.
Maniacs, move over.
Now it's people getting machine gunned in cockpits and lots of script. So I'll be watching that, and then I'll be doing a detailed review of each episode with History Bro on the Sunday. Drinker's going to pop into those whenever he can, and he popped into this one. And I'm going to try for the last episode to get a guest who actually was in the show, but we also had Inside Man.
I thought you were going to say in the war.
No.
I was like, whoa.
Damn.
No. Northern doesn't like to talk about that. But so we did have Inside Man on, who worked on the whole production.
Yeah.
So he
Nice.
was able to cover some things that we weren't able to, get into. So it was good, but I won't get into. We don't have to do a big minutiae about it now, but
yeah, I would like to come on one of those. I don't know if the last one's going to be stacked, but I'm one of those guys where everyone knows I like to wait till the show's over and binge it.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I asked you, because it's your show is like at 1 p.m. my time, and I've been waking up at like sunrise lately, and I remember I like messaged you at like 10 a.m. and I was like, hey, wait, I don't know if you want me on this. If so, like I can watch these 2 episodes. And then you messaged me at like noon, like an hour before the show. You're like, you got time to watch the first one. And I was like, no, I'm going to edit and do some work. Yeah. And then I find out the guy from Lotus Eaters and like Drinker on the stream. I was like, oh, well, that's my fault. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Next time.
Sorry, man.
No, it's fine.
Problem is,
I could have been your chance there to jump Enzo as well. Because
I wanted to edit, and I'm glad I did. Well,
my body clock is so messed up right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning.
I thought about it for 2 seconds. I was like, I can watch both episodes at double speed if I want to, but I don't want to.
The plane's going around.
Yeah, 30 minutes each episode. I was like, they're hour-long episodes. I don't know, man.
I'm watching License to Speed at double speed as well, so I can get the screenshots for it.
License to Speed. That sounds like a drug taking video.
Oh Christ!
Yeah.
Good idea for a film.
I prefer to binge and watch. If it's like a 1-season show, I'd much rather watch it all in one go. I used to do that with The Walking Dead, which always was a better show if you did that rather than watching it weekly.
Yeah.
But the problem with Masters of the Air is the audience for it is so huge because I knew it was going to be a massive hit.
Yeah.
Avoiding images or posts about what's in those shows, in those episodes, is going to be near on impossible, especially if you're running a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Right.
So in order to really kind of also get my view over, I've got to just be on it every week. And also I'm a massive World War II guy. So if I wasn't,
to corner that market, milk that cow,
Yeah.
If you're into it, then obviously you should be talking about it.
I'm going to suckle on that teat until episode 9.
Sweet udder juice.
Got a few of the regular people in here. I don't have Apple TV, says OT.
Get it.
Uar, says me. Jamalama, I pay enough. I feel bad sailing the high seas.
We don't condone any of this, by the way.
No. Retropolis now. Hey, guys. By the way, you can get a free subscription to Apple.
That's what I did.
For a couple of months, I think.
That's how they get you, though.
It is how they get you.
First taste is free. It's like a crackhead.
Yeah. Well, and also on that note, don't have too many tacos.
Nah, bro, you can never have enough tacos. I think 3 is a good number. But if you're having corn tortillas, you can put them down. Flour tortillas are more filling,
So let's talk about some of the stuff other things we watched this week. But if you haven't seen Masters of the Air, we do recommend it.
Definitely.
Gonna do let's do movies first before we get into other TV shows. So I finally got round to seeing Ferrari.
Yeah.
Who else has seen it?
Surprisingly, I have not, even though my name is Enzo. I know. Sorry.
Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
Oh, yeah.
I also love Michael Mann, so
yeah.
I'm a massive Michael Mann fan. Yeah, we'll cover Heat in a sec.
No, Thief. I watched Thief on Sunday. That was good.
Yeah.
Dude, you watched what?
Rules. Thief with James Caan.
Oh, Thief, the
Tangerine Dream, baby.
I know.
I saw
that one and Sorcerer
weeks
together. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
Well, is Ferrari as good as Thief and Lance?
Let's come back to that. In terms of Thief and Heat and all that, let's just stick with this. I do feel if I'd seen this at the cinema, I probably would have liked it more.
Is that Gina?
It was. I think that was at a premiere
Gina
event.
Davis.
Let's skip to the.
She's not in the movie.
Of the film. Let's talk about the pros. The pros are that the actors are all very committed. The performances are good. Technically, the film looks amazing. The racing sequences, the production design, attention to detail with the period, all really fantastic. So there's a lot to be enjoyed when you're watching the movie. I mean, look at that suit, and Adam Driver, when you think about where he was even 10 years ago and the level of performance and the roles he's taking on now, I mean, God, he's kind of made a leap of Gene Hackman proportions, in terms of his career.
He's such an underrated actor.
Oh, on that subject, happy birthday to Gene Hackman today. My one of my favorite actors of all time. He's now
still
94.
Going.
Yeah, mate,
Absolute
he's
legend.
catching up with you. He's 94 now.
That's what happens when you retire, though. That's why he got those extra 20-something years.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, I love this period, and I love this period of Europe as well, where Europe was really finding itself after World War II again, and Italy didn't have a lot going for it at this time, and you had a lot of competing political elements and so on. But despite all of those pluses, I don't know. When I got to the end of the movie, I felt like this was the first half of a really good miniseries, and now I want to see part 2 because this guy's life did not end with this car crash, and most of his team that you're introduced to in the film also would subsequently die in other accidents.
Yeah. So
I felt like there was more to the story that we didn't get to see. It just felt like half a movie. It kind of ended, and there's he's got an illegitimate child with a lover, and he's bringing that son into the family to a degree, but that son can't take his name until after his first wife has died. Okay, fine, but I don't know. I don't think the family elements and the sort of the narrative about becoming this iconic brand for Italy, which is what he was striving for. And I think it was not just about him. It was about bringing his country back into giving them a sense of honor again, something to be proud about. I think it doesn't all quite mesh. All the individual components are really amazing, but something about it just didn't quite mesh for me. And I can't quite, but it felt like it should have been a mini series. I felt like this would have been better as 6 1-hour episodes, just one season, a big biopic mini series. Let Michael Mann take all the time he wants to tell this guy's story. It felt like a lot of objectives to put in one film. That's my take on it. I don't know if anyone in chat has seen it, if they want to chip in. Has anyone else on the panel seen it?
No, I wanted to. It's not playing my theaters anymore.
I wanted to, but then I keep hearing more people like yourself say they saw it and it's meh. And I'm like,
listen, it's not a film that I turned off and went, well, that was a waste of 2 hours of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, meh. Like I said,
it wasn't like watching a new Star Wars show and then feeling like you'd been, you'd given an ex-lover another chance and they just whacked you around the head with a baseball bat, sort of thing. But I don't know. Yeah, it was frustrating in a way to see all this brilliance, brilliant actors, brilliant performances, brilliant production design, good direction, but something about it just wasn't quite working as to make it this amazing film. Because I really love The Insider. That's one of my favorite Michael Mann films. Yeah. It's slow as FUCK, but it's like. But the dialogue and the way it's shot and the mood and those sort of almost Shakespearean combative boardroom scenes between Pacino and his bosses, they really come together at the end of the film, and you really feel, you feel a sense of being in that story. You're in there in this one, but it just doesn't quite just doesn't quite take you to the same place.
Yeah.
The car crash is brutal, and seeing that on a big screen would have made me jump out my seat.
Yeah.
You know, decapitations galore. You know what I mean? But it was kind of annoying though, because I kind of knew that was coming because that clip is in the trailer.
Yeah.
I really wish they'd never shown that. So that was annoying. It's a bit like
trailers,
you know, the Mission Impossible big stunt. We
Yeah.
saw, you know, 20-minute shows about that stunt before the movie ever even aired. So when we saw the stunt, it was like, yeah, okay, but I've already seen it. So, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of curious, Lance. You notice that it seems like a trope recently where, like, oh, you're saying this should have been a miniseries, but then look at Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon. It seems to be like a lot of films would benefit being 6 1-hour episodes instead of that. They're cramming too much into too little time.
Yeah. Tales of the Flower Moon worked better than this did for me. But I still had an issue with that film as well. I felt that film should have been primarily told from the Indian character's point of view, and I felt like Robert De Niro's and DiCaprio's characters should have been supporting characters in that movie, not leading characters. They should have been the bad guys. They were the bad guys in the film, but they should have had bad guy screen time. They didn't. They had good guy screen time, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's a funny one.
Yeah,
but I this is not a don't bother. I think if you're interested in this subject,
is that how you say Ferrari in Russian?
Pepperoni, yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
so.
what in the okay.
If you're interested in this subject, or you're interested in racing, or Italian clothing, or Italian food, but there's a couple of scenes with Italian. You know, there's several scenes with Italian food either being made or being served. And you know that family Italian dinner where they've got 2 different types of pasta freshly made by the mother on the table. They've got 2 different types of red wines. They've got a big bowl of fresh bread. I've always wanted to be invited to an Italian meal like that, but with an Italian family. Next time I go to Italy, I might just have to
go see
Texas. Yeah, next time you go to Texas, go.
I think I just knock on some random door and say, "Would you mind if I have lunch?"
No, me. I'm Italian. That's what I'm trying to tell you. My name is Enzo.
Yeah, but you're in Texas. That's no good.
Exactly.
That's true,
dude. I'll tell you right now, man. I'll cook the socks off of any Italian dude in Italy. All right. I'll make some tacos that'll blow your mind.
You got a pasta maker?
Actually, I do. We make our shit by hand usually. Although.
Okay, now I'm interested. Okay,
I really hate busting out the flour though. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime I gotta fry something or make dough, it's like, oh god, all right.
No, I feel you. My wife makes cake, and sometimes I help her out with it. And yeah, sometimes it can be a bastard. It can.
So, sticking with feature films, we also had the trailer drop today for. Sorry, no one else got anything saying Ferrari. I take it because no one else saw it.
No.
No.
So tales of ungentlemanly warfare.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Trailer
reading the book as well.
Of course,
there's a book
today.
Yeah, isn't it like a Winston Churchill?
Yeah, it's based on a real squad. Secret, like it's kind of like a secret service stuff, wasn't it? Like Winston Churchill.
Damien Lewis, who's he's a author with an interest in military history. I've met him, and I actually wrote a screenplay for one of his books. Funnily enough, not this one.
Look, your boy Reacher's in the movie.
Yeah, he is. I was
he is.
proper surprised because when I saw the trailer, I was watching it, and I was like, "Oh, that looks just like Alan, what's his name?" But it's obviously not him because he's not in this. And then I went and checked the credits, and I was like, "Oh, it is him," because the clips of him are so quick. You've got to be, on it to spot him.
I
think he's playing one of the Danish soldiers as well who worked for him, and he was because I saw the knife in the trailer, and this guy really bragged about preferring the knife because you never run out of ammo with a knife.
Right.
So I don't know if he's playing that role.
Yeah, well, I mean, this could be a shot from Guns of Navarone, couldn't it? All of them sitting on the boat. Also, notice that Alan Richardson, is it Richardson, the guy from
Richardson something?
It's
Richardson. Yeah, notice that his legs are also of a similar size to the actual mast of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
If you, so if they get into a storm and the mast breaks, they can use him as a mast to sail home. So
I'm surprised the ship isn't sinking with him in it though.
I mean,
he's that big.
Look at that. Seeing him and Henry Cavill, holy man.
I just want to see like the uncensored footage of them on the boat, like having to swallow whole raw eggs every day. They eat nothing but egg whites and raw chicken breasts like every day, like 6 times a day, getting all that protein powders. Like it's so hard to get this huge.
So you guys all watched the trailer, I take it?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
God, it looks awesome. It does. It looks like it's taking on a more hyper-realistic comedic approach to the book. But then again, from what I've read of the book recently, I've only read like 6 chapters. It does seem almost too crazy to be true in the book anyway. So, yeah, I think it'll work out well.
You're reading the book by Damian Lewis, I take it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's... There's so many homages in this trailer.
My God, look at that.
There's a homage to the Wild Geese. There's a homage to Guns of Navarone. There's a homage to Where Eagles Dare. There's a homage to Dirty Dozen. And these are all movies that Guy Ritchie grew up with.
Dear God, stop it, Lance. It's too much. It's too much awesome for one film.
I know. And this is a movie, not a TV. I thought this was a TV series when I first heard about it. Carrie Yules, is that how you pronounce his surname? Because I've heard lots of
so. Yeah? I've always said it Yules, Carrie Yules. Like
I
one word.
Say Carrie Elves.
Elves. Yeah, somebody pronounced it Elves. Somebody pronounced it Eli's on a stream the other day. Yeah. He's great in this role. He's brilliant. He's like oozing.
He was also recently in the Rebel Moon thing. Is he coming around again?
That I'm not sure.
He's playing these cool supporting roles. I mean, I don't like Rebel Moon.
I mean, you can literally
Carrie Yules.
Yeah,
you can literally say of this photo that he put it in his pipe and smoked it.
Yeah, I just always like Men in Tights. I love it. the crush.
Yeah. So Blue Collar. What did you think of the trailer?
Oh, it's everything I wanted for a 2024 film, and yet again, like people said, a drinker, anybody, the action genre, like the whole like seeing films that aren't like part of a franchise. We keep getting these brand new IPs, and I'm all for it. I mean, Henry Cavill, Alan Richardson, Guy Ritchie, like sign me up, man.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy to see 3 movies in this franchise. They're starting off with attacking submarine things.
Yeah.
My big World War II script that I wrote, like Dirty Dozen movie, not Longest Day movie, was called The Last Submarine, and that was all about commandos going and attacking a submarine base in San Nazaire, actually.
I'm happy too. Henry Cavill's busy because everyone after The Witcher, like, oh, what's going to happen to Henry Cavill? Like, he's got Argyle coming out, then this. Now he's making Warhammer 40K. Like, the guy, Henry Cavill's not going nowhere.
Yeah. This is HMS Belfast on the River Thames, which I'm assuming they used for a couple of shots during filming, because and there's all the guys. Babs on the left in that group shot. He was also in June, and I met him at the June premiere. Had a nice chat with him. Really lovely bloke. It's kind of is it quite in Sisu territory? It's sort of it did seem very over the top, and lots of. It felt very comic book. That's not a criticism, but it felt firmly in Dirty Dozen camp rather than Bridge Too Far camp.
Yeah, I mean, check out the first Kingsman. Everyone loves the first Kingsman film, and then that's it's not taking itself too seriously. It knows what it is. So,
Yeah.
That's not true. Everyone
Well-
loves the first Kingsman.
yeah, the
I
first
don't
Kingsman.
love the first one. I
Dear
don't like
God,
Kingsman.
man. Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
I
I might be out of the, I don't know. I might be a contrarian here, but I'm tired of this tone that all these movies have of this like Argyle, Man
Mhm.
from Uncle. What are the other ones? Wanted. The other one we just said, Kingsman. I'm just tired of this over the top campy British action humor style.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure this movie will be fun, but this ain't shit I've never seen before. I'm tired of this tone. It's like LOL, MCU style kind of humor in the war movie and has the spy movie. And I'm just not sold on it yet. I'm sure it'll come out and you'll get some good reviews. I liked Man from Uncle, don't get me wrong, but I'm, this tone is just so, it's starting to get a little stale. It's been like 4 or 5 years of this.
I have to admit, I would rather see more grounded
Thank you.
World War II stuff than a kind of.
I don't know if you guys know this, but World War II was kind of a big deal, and it was a little serious.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of people died.
A lot of people got killed.
Glorious Bastards was fun, but
yeah, this is. It's not quite in that far, but it's nudging in that direction. I doubt World War II is going to end early in this show, but
maybe I'm being a curmudgeon. I don't know.
No, I
just
think
saw the trailer and didn't really get wowed.
It's a fair criticism.
Henry Cavill is handsome, big jack guy, and yes, I agree with Blue Collar. He's going to be around forever. He's got some screen presence. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
Go on, Northern. Jump in quick.
Well, I just think that because the story itself is so crazy to be true, and it is actually true, that I think the tone might match this film here. But we'll see what happens when it comes out.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see how exaggerated they take these true amazing events and make them even more ridiculous.
Read the book, mate. Read the book. I'm only quote the way through it, though, but it's insane. It's insane. It really
I'm sure I'll
is.
find an audiobook. I'll look it up. Let's see.
Yeah, get the audiobook. Get some stuff done while you listen to it.
When's this being released? Is it April?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's April. Is it?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to see it in the cinema if I can. All right. So with some reservations on the whole, I think we're all looking forward to seeing it. At least it's something new. It looks fun at the very least. Yeah, I agree. Give us June 2 already. I agree. There's no reason for it to have been delayed this long. It's nonsense. They're just trying to sweat out a few more bucks from us. All right. Okay. So other feature film. Before we move on to...
I didn't mean to poo-poo on you guys. It's fun. I'm sorry.
No, man. Listen.
Okay.
I think that's a perfectly valid criticism. I am quite bored of that similar kind of stuff. Yeah, just sort of campy, over the top.
I like it when camp isn't trying to be camp.
But you always get that scene where there's two people and they do.
Oh my god, that doesn't work either in movies. And you know how hard it is to hit targets, like when you do random like fires like that.
And someone's on the back of a bike doing it as well. Norman, it's just, I like sort of more grounded stuff. I'm more interested in seeing more of Masters of the Air.
Yeah,
Sisu was great, and I could see a couple more films like that, but I don't want to see 20 films like that. Right. So I can see unlimited grounded realistic stuff. So we'll see. It does look fun. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful it'll be pretty good.
Well, that's the beauty of genres. You can go see a grounded film that's beautiful, and you can go see a stupid popcorn flick. Like I said, I mean, I like Beekeeper for what it is, but then also me and Enzo will talk about this recent film about a crime thriller, and I love Masters of the Air, and everyone has their place. I like John Wick 4 as much as I like The Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
That's a crazy film, and also
I love it.
Based on a true story. Now, you guys went to see. Is it Anatomy of a Murder, or was that
Anatomy of a Fall?
Yeah.
Anatomy of a Fall, which is up for some awards at the Oscars, I believe.
Yeah, you might argue this movie's too grounded. You know, this movie's and grounded as a joke.
I'm very unlikely to ever argue that a movie is too grounded. Trust me on that.
Good courtroom drama.
I love a courtroom drama. One of my favorite films. Oh, Enzo, that reminds me. Let's definitely do a chew the fat on. Let's do 2 courtroom films. Let's do Jagged Edge and another one. We'll
okay.
We'll come up with
I'll
another
think of one.
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
No. We want 2 courtroom whodunits.
Okay, whodunits. There you go. Pauly Shore's Jury Duty. I'm just joking.
Anatomy of a Fall. Okay.
I warned Chris that this movie.
Of the Palme d'Or. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely nominated for a few awards this year. But including best screenplay. And the thing that's interesting is I told Blue Collar last night when he was in a drunken haze that this movie's French. And he's like, I'm going to go to the movie theater tomorrow and see it. I was like, you probably don't need to. You probably watch it from home. He's like, I'm going to. So then he goes and he calls me, messages me as soon as the movie starts. He's like, damn it, this movie's in French. And I was like, I told you that. And what's even cooler, though, is the movie's half in French, which I appreciated. It's half English, too. So I was like,
So you
cool.
guys, you guys both saw this at the movie theater, right?
Of course.
Can I ask you,
yes.
How many persons were also in the screen with you?
Well, for me, it was considered a reissue, but it was just one showing for the entire day. But myself and there was like 3 other people.
Right.
So
yeah,
but
it's been out for a while.
Well, yeah, because that's why it's considered a reissue for. It's a 2023 film.
Enzo,
right? In my theater, it was this theater I saw. It looked a lot like this room, and it was just me in there. So
was it like a 6-seater?
I plead the 5th. All right, on who was in my theater.
Oh, okay.
All right.
No, I'm following you. Thank you.
Sounds very lonely.
Yeah.
I like it that way.
I mean, I know the film's had a little re-release because of the buzz around it. The Oscars are coming up. It's there's several places screening it in London right now. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
The thing that sucks is everything I'd want to talk about that's cool about it. I don't want to spoil anything. So just watch it and then we'll talk about it. Because I don't want to spoil anything because it's a big whodunit, you know, like you're talking about courtroom drama.
The plot is, you could do the plot in like 4 words. It's not like a complicated plot per se.
The poster tells you the plot. A guy fell and died and we're trying to figure out what happened. The anatomy of a fall.
Yeah.
It may or may not be murder.
Exactly.
Here's a brief visit from Ethan Hawke to the set.
It may also be suicide. It may be a tragic accident. We don't know. We're trying to figure it out.
Maybe Bigfoot, you know.
Wow, look at that view from that office, man.
Oh yeah, very cool. Stuff I could say that isn't spoilery is really good, low budget, great acting, awesome scenery. What's those scout locations? Just good. Tight courtroom movie. Yes. So yeah.
Are people starting to like these slower movies now because we've had so much crappy ones that have tried to throw everything in at once within a few seconds with every frame?
Oh my God.
It depends on the audience, though.
I think it's like if it's good, it doesn't matter if it's slow or fast paced. Like it'll hook an audience that's paying attention and putting their phones down. I think that's a huge part of them. Is like if you're distracted, the best movie on can be okay because you're on your phone or you're eating. It's really important to be immersed in some of these movies,
That's like I'm not against watching films at home. I do it all the time, but there is part of me that I will put my phone on vibrate and need sometimes off. And when I'm in a theater, I can focus a lot more when I'm at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that annoys me now is because in movie theaters or cinemas, as we call them in England, to use their proper correct term, is that you don't have ushers in the cinemas anymore. Almost most movie theaters don't use them. There's usually one wandering about between like 8 or 10 screens. If it's a multiplex, you got the person that tears the tickets, and occasionally they'll come and pop their head in.
Yeah, that's what
I mean. When I worked at the cinema, we sat at the back, and if there was a problem, like if I had a group of problem kids, and they were giving me shit when I would seat them, I would go down to the front of the cinema. I would say, ladies and gentlemen, the film's going to start in about 2 minutes. I will be sitting at the back. There's some people that have caused a bit of a ruckus when they've come in and they've been a bit noisy. If they talk during the film, I will gladly kick them out on your behalf and they will not get a refund. Just come and see me at the back and I'll attend to it straight away. And that got a round of applause like so many times. You couldn't do that now because you get killed in London. Like people would stab you. But
literally.
Yeah, I mean they would. You know, they'd wait for you to leave work and then they would stab you.
That's a good time for me.
But I mean, but back then, you know, you were able to kind of put the hammer down a bit because people didn't want to get kicked out of the movie. Now they don't really care. Some people just come to watch them to talk and be on their phone, especially kids.
Tyler Wolf, our buddy Tyler, half of his shorts are like, not half, obviously. He's done a few shorts about like his horrifying experiences in movie theaters, like idiot kids on their phone nonstop. Right. And then Rich Evans, he recently did a video, Red Letter Media, talking about how he was watching a movie, liking it, and then the second half, like two people from Barbie or whatever walked in. I think it was Oppenheimer, and they walked in and just sat on their phones and talked about Barbie in the movie, in the middle, and they didn't even. Guys, here's what you guys do. If you guys are worried about like kids talking or being annoying, just bring a flashlight with you. And when they start talking, just go stand right in front of them and just shine the light right in their face. And don't say anything. Just do this. And keep going back and forth to them. And if they say anything, just keep shining the light in their face. And then eventually you just say, shut up. And they'll quiet down. I'm a large man. Obviously, if I did this to kids, like I might get arrested. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, you know, plus
you gotta scare the pants off these little assholes.
I refer you to you may also get stabbed when you leave the theater, as we
I ain't afraid. I got protective blubber.
Or in America, shot is more likely.
Yeah, dude. Why do you think all those fat mobster guys, they get shot like 8 times over the course of their life? They all live because they have all this fat protecting them from projectiles.
Damn, man. I hadn't thought about the benefit of getting ginormous in my old age.
Yeah.
Plus he's hot. Plus he's always high too, so he's kind of nimble. You know.
Okay, so using this
reflexes.
Using this picture alone, Northern Bastard and I, who have not seen the film, because this is the full in process. I
will say that this is they show like a couple different, like, this is not a spoiler because they show you several different ways it could have played out.
No, I got that. I mean, I got that from this shot. I'm a script writer, man. Give me some credit. So,
all right.
So Northern, you and I are going to solve the murder from this photo alone.
The butler did it.
Yeah.
So,
you nailed it, dude.
Work out what this object is in the back of his jeans here. Is this a phone? Looks like it could be a phone.
It's a turd.
And if he pushed, or was he pushed, or did he fall? This kind of distance from the building, you know, that looks like.
Did he slip? Did he jump?
Some force behind that.
I don't know. It looks like he's turning round as well because of the gravity, but I'm guessing it could be pushed. But I need to see the film myself, really, to be honest.
Could he just be pretending to be Superman, but has realised he can't fly?
Whee!
Yeah, he's been on so many drugs that make him think like that.
Or he's drunk.
Jenny.
It's also concerning
when I prayed to be a bird.
There's a shadow of a passing airplane. By the way, Jason replied to your recording of the impression you did of him, Enzo.
Oh,
and,
did he?
His response to your impression was, "That's not from Deep Rising, mate. That's from Snatch."
I said Layer Cake. I said it was from Layer Cake.
I think he might have said Layer Cake. I think he said Snatch.
No, I definitely told you it was from
Layer Cake. Fuck you females is for puffs. That one.
Right.
Yeah, I remember now.
Right. So I want you to tell him that I knew that.
Right. Well, we're going to check this out. Even though Blue Collar and I have already worked out who did it from that picture alone. Is it a satisfactory ending? It's not one of these films that's got like a knobby ending.
Nah.
No, it's not. They don't leave you hanging or nothing. It's not like it's a good ending. It wraps everything up. This
so could be like a dog with the creature of the thing in it with those eyes. It just looks like it's got the thing in it.
Whatever it is, it's weird and it's pissed off.
I mean, that said, that woman. Oh, here we go. This is what happened. He fell from here, bounced off the box, and then landed on the floor. Problem solved. I like the way they've done the little diagrams. Like something I'd draw at home. Except Mine would have like a rocket base in it and like a gun tower on the side here, and then
Tower on your
ninjas.
house.
There'd be some ninjas because I'd always draw these like bases, these like bad guys.
That's actually this scene right here. She's trying to tell her lawyer that it was ninjas, and he doesn't believe her.
Right. It's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'm looking for. I've seen this lady in a couple of other movies.
What was it that she was in?
Let's find out. Let's have a quick look at her.
Let's see.
Sandra Hüller. She was born in Schul. So German actress. Requiem. I've seen that.
Okay, was it like some Paul Verhoeven movie I'm thinking of?
No, she definitely hasn't been in a pool. Did you see Red Letter Media's in-depth review of Showgirls?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I love Showgirls.
It's so bang on.
I thought they were pretty hard on that movie. I unironically like that movie.
They were pretty hard on that movie. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I was pretty hard on that movie, if you know what I mean.
I think the only movie I've seen. Enough. We've got some serious guests coming on this channel soon. Let's maintain some decorum. I've not seen Suck Me Shakespeare 3, nor have I seen the first two.
What in the hell?
Not yet.
I'm adding that to the list.
Munich, the Edge of War.
Watch it.
I feel like we
Jesus
should.
Christ.
Yeah. Now, she's also the wife of Rudolf Hess in The Zone of Interest. Has anyone seen The Zone of Interest yet?
No, I want to. And that's back to Jonathan Glazer.
Yeah.
Who did Sexy Beast, which Yeah. So I love Jonathan Glazer, by the way. He made some great, awesome music videos. He did music videos for Massive Attack. He did that Jamiroquai video, Virtual Insanity. He's done videos for Radiohead and Blur. But yeah, he also made what are the movies he did? He did The Skin, Under the Skin, Sexy Beast, Birth. Yeah. Good stuff.
We're gonna be talking about Sexy Beast in a little bit. It's really interesting.
Birth, Lance, with Nicole Kidman?
No. Oh, maybe.
Where the little boy is like harassing her, saying that he's like her dead reincarnated husband.
Yeah, I have seen that. That film was
I remember that.
It was weird. I like it. It's weird in a good way.
Zone of Interest is up for a few awards. It's basically about the family of an SS commandant who is, on the other side of those fences is Auschwitz or one of the main extermination camps. And this is the family trying to have this sort of idyllic, normal life with kind of an allotment and, a really idyllic, ornate garden and picnics and so on. And it's kind of ironic to think that this shit did actually happen. So yeah, I look forward to seeing it. It's gonna be one of those movies like the boy in the striped pajamas. You're gonna watch it once, you're gonna feel pretty traumatized, and then you're not gonna want to watch it again.
Sweet.
I have a feeling.
There's another Holocaust movie that's like that called The Gray Zone with like Harvey Keitel and
I've got it.
Corvino. That movie's that movie's hardcore. I don't know.
It is. I own a copy of that film. Believe it or not.
How many times have you watched it? Once, right?
Once, yeah.
Yeah.
But I watched it once. The time I bought it.
It is literally a bunch of Jewish people in a concentration camp getting executed. That is the entire movie. It's like, what the hell?
I mean, well, there's that.
Of course, there's a plot. Yes, it's rough
because there were 4 like uprisings in I think Auschwitz alone, where people got together and either try to break out or kill some guards and stuff like that. And it kind of builds up to that, doesn't it? But it's not an easy watch. I don't think we're going to do a chew the fat on extermination camp films. And there's a lot on my
channel one day. I'm just joking.
There's a lot of them. I mean, Escape from Sobibor is a really great film with Rutger Hauer. And they did a remake. They did a new film about that, and it's a Polish film, and it's proper heavy.
Yeah,
it's like a really dark, grim, slow version of the Rutger Hauer one.
Yeah, I like Rutger Hauer's old German movies. What was that
Yeah.
Paul Verhoeven one he did? The castle one?
Yeah.
What's it called? Oh my god.
And the one where he's a soldier in Holland, Soldier of Orange. That's a really good.
Right. Flesh and Blood. I'm sorry. Flesh and Blood's the one I'm thinking
Flesh
of.
and Blood.
Hell yeah.
I have the vinyl soundtrack to Flesh and Blood.
Of course you do.
Of course
Why
I do.
wouldn't you?
Yeah. Of course I do. It's from that era. So
Yeah.
Anybody else seen any? What would you guys give that movie out of 10?
For courtroom dramas, like 8 or 9 out of 10. Like for all movies ever, like I mean a solid 7, solid 8. It might win some awards for sure.
7's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you like courtroom dramas that are real, like minimalist and bare bones and all about the acting, like this is gonna be right up your alley.
Especially for a 2.5 hour film. Yeah, just expect to sit down and
didn't feel too long, even though it's pretty slow.
But it definitely has. There's a certain audience for this kind of film.
Right. All right. Well, I'm going to watch it for sure. Me and Northern will voice our
true crime enjoyers.
I'll tell you that actor.
Get that on the list to watch.
If your wife likes true crime documentaries like every other woman, then she'll probably like this movie.
I give her credit. There's some extended scenes of dialogue, and I can't imagine like how she memorized. Some of those scenes are like 10, 15-minute scenes, and she's talking. But that's a lot of dialogue. So
it's also bilingual. That's what's impressive.
Yeah.
Speaking of French and English.
Yeah.
Incidentally, that horror script that I'm writing, I reached page 68 today, and it's due in on Thursday.
You know what that means, bro? Your next page is 69, dude. All right.
I told you already, this is a respectable channel.
Uh-huh.
Right, okay, let's move on. So Anatomy of the Fall, check it out. It's a recommendation from 2 of my co-hosts. Do we have any other feature films? I have an old one I'm going to mention. Anyone else got any?
Well, I rewatched Sexy Beast, but we'll talk about that when we talk about your show.
Let's talk about that when we cover the
TV
show. Anyone else got any others?
Well, I did for hell of it for the appeal. I did see -1 color. I brought my kid to see it because I wanted to see Godzilla in black and white.
Oh, you went to see the black and white version?
Yeah. So
how was it?
Definitely, like people said, it wasn't just a color palette swap. They actually did film certain scenes for black and white. It's hard to say if it's better or worse. Like I see the appeal for both. It's a different experience. I wouldn't say it's better nor worse. Like I was worried about like his atomic breath was badass, where it's glowing blue and everything, versus this Godzilla being gray. It does mix in with the black and white, and when he does the atomic breath, his scales are glowing like this white hot energy, which is pretty cool. I think it only worked because this was supposed to be the setting for 1940, 1945, 46, so it did work. But I can't say it's like a better version. It's just a different version.
Does it make it feel more tragic or heavy?
Definitely Godzilla, like everyone knows the infamous Jaws scene, like that. Godzilla being a big creature that's a lizard that's kind of like gray and everything. Those tones make it more of a horror film. So that aspect does work. Yeah, I mean, he is scarier in black and white, I think. So that part did work, but obviously the story doesn't change. So it depends on how you want to look at it.
Just a quick point of order for administration. For the rest of the stream, we'll call Stupenzo Jamiroquai.
No, that's one of the bands I was in. Jamiroquai.
It says Jamiroquai.
Yeah, I know. That's Fiona being funny.
Well, that's why I thought we should embrace comicalness and call you Jamiroquai.
Well, I do think that if they're smart, what they should do for marketing purposes, when it comes out in digital and DVD, put both, like let's say Logan, put both versions out that we can compare for yourself. So
yeah, Tyler Wolf was on about this as well, wasn't he?
Blu-ray set,
Yeah,
double Blu-ray set with both. All right, okay. Godzilla -1 in black and white. Blue Collar Loser says go and see it. I'm going to take us all the way back to 2010.
Whoa.
To a French film called Abu.
That was only 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long, long time ago. So Abu Portant, or Point Blank, to use the Western release title, stars Rashidi Zem, who some people may have seen in the excellent French World War II drama feature film Days of Glory. If you haven't seen Days of Glory, you should. Now, this is one of those films that when I saw it in the cinema. I didn't know anything about it. In fact, I went on a date with a really lovely girl called Audrey, who I lost touch with, and we did 2 films, and this was the second one. Thank God, because the first film was proper traumatic. One of these, the sort of old boy type twist. The first film that we saw was a South American movie that had a kind of old boy type twist. Not a great date movie, it's got to be said. And we both were like pretty traumatized. And I said, well, do you want to see this second one or not? Because I know it's a pretty gripping thriller, but I don't know anything else about it. And she said, oh, I'm game. Let's do it. And this film, it's one of those films that grabs you by the balls and doesn't let go. The basic premise is, starts in a hospital. This guy is wounded, and he's just sort of coming out of a coma. We find out later that he's wrapped up in. There are 2 police teams in Paris investigating the same murder, and I don't want to give too much away, but one police team is up to it to their necks. And the other police team, their boss gets murdered. And he's caught right in the middle of it, as is this civilian. The film is just non-stop. You're just on the edge of your seat the whole time. So we'll definitely, I think, guys, put this in another one in the long list of Nielsen requirements.
Nice.
This is the civilian played by Giles LaRouche. We're going to talk about this movie at some point in this year, so put it down as another one to track down. He's a great actor. He's been in absolutely loads of stuff. He also was in that movie about the guy that's paralyzed, who's got the black carer, and that was remade as an American. That had an American remake. Yeah.
Was it the one with Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart?
That's right. He played the original Bryan Cranston role in the far superior American film. But he's fantastic in this. It's a really, really good movie. So it's not a remake. So it's not a remake of the Lee Marvin classic Point Blank. No, it's completely original film.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Really good.
Hardcore.
I mean, listen, it's really good. I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Cool.
Can't recommend it highly enough. I mean, it's just a really, really fast-paced, furiously paced, as it says here. So that's an oldie to recommend to people. I'm going to put the IMDb link in the chat so you guys can track it down for yourself. Hello to Background Noise, who's just given us a pink high five in the chat. Didn't know it was Mardi Gras already. Okay, so anyone else got any other feature films to recommend before we move on?
Me and my cousin Thunderqueef watched Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer, where he's the blind swordsman.
I love that movie.
I love that film too.
I can't wait to see it.
It was great. I hadn't seen it since I was like a little kid, so that'll probably come out in a month.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
It still holds up pretty well, right?
Yeah, it was a blast. We had a blast watching it. It's funny.
I mean, it's nonsense, but it's fun nonsense.
Yeah.
Rutger Hauer was a little too close for comfort with that strange boy in some scenes, but other than that, great film.
We'll put down
it's kind of crazy in real life, though, wasn't it? Yeah, a little bit eccentric.
Kind of like the little kid kissing on the strange man, like, please don't go, nuzzling him and stuff. It's like, dude, you've only known this man for a day. He's not your father. He's like your father's friend. That's weird.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen it, Rutger Hauer's kind of like a blind ninja assassin. Zatoichi, the blind swordsman. Lisa Blount, who I always thought just had an incredible charisma. Man, she died pretty young. She passed away a couple of years ago.
Sad.
She was the lead in John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, she also doesn't wear pants in a lot of scenes in this movie because she's like a waitress who doesn't, a cocktail waitress. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brandon Cool. Yeah, God, yeah, this is one of his like first.
It's funny because it's listed as his first movie. Like you say, introducing Brandon Cool, but it's like he was in 2 movies before this. So weird.
Well, maybe this was shot before those movies, but took a while to get released.
Don't know.
Because Blind Fury didn't get a cinema release in the UK. It went straight to video.
Oh, right.
and
You know, I love it
Yeah.
when movies when they say special guest star, like special guest starring. It's a movie.
Yeah.
How do you guest star in a movie? That's something that you see in the 70s all the time.
Well, that's because some pilots are TV pilots or proposed TV pilots are feature
I
film
know
length,
that.
but they still have TV credits or style of credits. So maybe there was talk of this being a TV show.
Fun. No, that didn't happen in this movie. That was just something I just brought up.
Nick
Cassavetes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his father died like right after he was done shooting this.
Damn.
Jinx.
Yeah, I mean, but basically the kids
Whoa.
kidnap, Ninja Howard's got to go and rescue him, etc., etc., etc. Sho Kosugi's in it as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great little boss battle at the end of the movie. Go forward one picture. That's awesome. Now go back 2 pictures.
Hang
on. Now this is one more. Sorry. Does this look like he's getting his finger bitten and he's not enjoying it and he's like in pain? This is a weird.
No, it seems more like he's getting his finger sucked and he is enjoying it.
Weird.
Maybe we shouldn't.
No.
And
anyway, moving on.
Kind of funny how Rick Overton in the background there, who by the way is one of the little pixie people in the film Willow, is doing his best impression of a fat Dan Aykroyd in that picture.
Want to see something scary?
Yeah, that's exactly the scene I was thinking of.
I know I can read your mind, dude.
Yeah. What a great picture of the late Rutger Hauer. One of my friends who's a producer, Dean, he worked with Hauer on his very last movie. And then one of my other friend, Jason Flemyng, who ended up playing the Ghost of Christmas Future, he got given back that job because Rutger Hauer got given the job. It's a complicated story. Flemyng was supposed to play the role originally. One of the producers decided they didn't want him, so he was taken off the film before it even started shooting. Hauer was brought in because they decided they wanted Hauer. Hauer died. They were so close to shooting, they then had to come back to Flemyng and say, yes, very sorry, we just still want you to do the role. He got a very nice paycheck out of that. Let's just say he was compensated for the fucking about. I don't know what's happened there, but it looks like someone's... anyway.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
This might be one of those scenes that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, a lot of this. Please, mister, don't leave. He's like, back your face away at least, like.
Well, he is blind.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of that. A lot of touching people's faces to like recognize them. That's like one of the reasons why I watched it with my cousin is because he worked at a school for blind kids for years, so he knows all about this crazy blind stuff. And they don't touch your face.
That's a really early Mac 10. Look at that.
That gun's gonna jam a lot, I bet.
Yeah, that's proper early. Here he
Look
is,
at his weird crate wig and beard, and when he's a prisoner in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Also, that's what's funny is like the Vietnamese people that he finds, like he gets like blinded from an accident, and then these Vietnamese villagers just take him in and nurse him back to health and train him how to fight with swords.
Yeah, well, that happened to a lot of Vietnam vets, man. They all came back as ninjas, started ninja schools, that kind of thing. Which,
dude, you remember on The Simpsons where Principal Skinner is talking about like when he was a POW, and he's like, they used to feed me this gruel that consisted of coconut milk, prawn, and 4 types of rice and spices. I went mad trying to find it in the States, but they just can't get the seasonings right. It's like...
That's another movie we should talk about at some point. Is the original Stepfather movie with Terry O'Quinn.
Oh yeah,
that's a great film.
Yeah,
he was in a lot. Him though, Terry O'Quinn. He was in a lot, and wasn't until Lost where he started to get a bit more recognition.
He's got He's got one of the best lines in Star Trek: The Next Generation. I have a lot of friends in high places at Starfleet Command, Admiral.
Right. Yeah. I love him in X-Files movie.
Oh, there's another one of those moments. What is Brandon Cool doing now? Let's find out.
Cover up the alien plague. Spoilers, but sorry, I crapped out there. I love him in X-Files movie where he lets the bomb go off in his face. I also love that guy in Tales from the Crypt when he's in an episode.
Yeah.
He's Glenn Close's son in Jagged Edge. We were just talking about that.
Weird. Oh yeah, that little kid's in Warlock too, which we watched on recently.
Oh God! Of course, he played Hobie Buchanan in the first seasons of Baywatch, first couple of seasons. I guess he quit acting in the late 90s then after making a lot of money on Step by Step. That would be it. So does it say what he's doing now? Let's have a quick butcher's. Nickname Bodhi. Yeah.
Bodhisattva.
Oh, hang on. 1996, probably a night he will never forget. He was involved in a traffic dispute where he was shot in both arms. It wasn't the first time he got into trouble. He seemed to have dropped off into relative obscurity. Okay.
Shot in both arms, man. You know, that's funny because like the guy who was like arguing with probably was like, man, just pulled out a gun and just bam, bam, like in both arms. Oh, stop talking your shit.
I'm guessing that's not the actual incident.
No.
Okay, so well, that was another oldie that we've recommended. Blind Fury. What would you give that out of 10 these days?
Oh, I mean, I'd give it an enjoyable, 3 out of 10. I mean, I still recommend watching. It was fun. It was schlocky.
I give it 3 out of 10. If it's a pleasure, you got to go higher than that.
Well, that's the thing is like I have this like negative rating. So like it's a bad movie, but I would give it like 7 red stars. 7 black stars means it's great. 7 red stars means it's bad, but you really need to see it.
This just in from Michael Cera's agent. That's the cast from him getting shot during a bicycle dispute. Yeah. So that was, and then it moved up.
Not again.
Heavier violence. Yeah, there is a good Howard Hughes biopic with Tommy Lee Jones. I've seen that. It was a made-for-TV movie, but I enjoyed it just as much as the Martin Scorsese picture, The Aviator, which I watched again recently and enjoyed it a lot more than when I saw it at the cinema.
Oh yeah.
So
I think Leo just looked a bit too young to be playing him still.
He was a bit, yeah. I did feel he was at the age he was miscast at that time.
Also, his big funny fake beard at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, Martin Scorsese was putting Leo in every single thing he was doing around that time, and it was like, you don't need to put him in everything you do. Get the right actor for fuck's sake.
He still is putting in everything.
I know.
Melvin is saying, "Hey, Outcast Creative, ask one of your other hosts to look up to what happened to Don Stroud a few years ago and how he got half blinded." I will. Check that out. Google that, somebody.
Well, who is? Oh, Don Stroud. Okay.
No hobo with a shotgun. Yeah. I remember that film.
Oh, here we go. In early 1990s, Stroud attempted to come to the aid of a man being mugged on the street in Greenwich Village, New York City. He wound up getting stabbed 10 times, including in his right eye, which he can no longer see out of.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is there anything about like what happened to the guy, or
watch out for them crackheads? He's probably still roaming the streets.
No, I meant, but I meant the guy he tried to save. Damn.
Oh, I don't know. Just, it's like Stand By Me,
Yeah.
Guy tried to break up a fight, gets stabbed in the throat. It's like, good God.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we move on to talking about that epic TV show, Blue Collar versus Ring Piece, let's
I did see Poor Things being a review, doing pretty good. So
you saw what? Sorry,
Poor Things with Emma Stone.
Oh, that's a feature film. You got to chirp up, man. Yeah. Okay, all right, let's talk about it. That's the basic premise of that. Is it's a girl who believes she can't be happy unless she's having sex all the time, or something along those lines?
It's like Frankenstein.
Basically, yeah. Well, it's like, yeah, Willem. I keep saying William, but Willem Dafoe. She dies, and he basically brings her back to life. That's like the start of it. And
He's like a Frankenstein doctor, and he's trying
Yeah.
to reanimate things, and he
Yeah.
happens to find a young lady who expired, and she becomes like his experiment.
Yeah.
And she basically learns how to live through, sex and other vices.
Frankenhooker with a budget. I do remember Frankenhooker.
That's
actually.
actually,
There you go.
You're not that wrong.
In fact, you're dead on.
Yeah.
Dead on. Get it? Sorry.
Emma Stone, who have a quick Google Enzo and see if you can
pull up her nudes. Already on it.
No, man.
Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
With the nudes.
Sorry. What were you saying?
He's got
search
problems.
for Emma Stone's. I think it was Super Nintendo advert or put games console. Emma Stone games console advert.
Okay.
And she's like an alien, and that's the first thing I
Sleeping dogs.
But it's an advert. It's like it might be on YouTube, like a 2-minute ad.
Right. I think I got it.
So okay, so the basic premise is, oh my god, look at him.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Frankenhooker with a budget. So she interacts. So it's all set in Victorian times.
Yeah, they don't say the exact era, but it's that you can tell by the technology.
And is this on the deck of the Titanic just before the iceberg?
It's some very, very beautiful wide shots, like right there.
So, yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, man. It just kind of feels a bit creepy.
It's definitely it's a dark comedy mixed with Frankenstein mixed with it tackles like 20 different themes. That's why I said I'm looking forward to like watching with you or Enzo and breaking down the spoilers, because it's hard to spoil everything, but it tackles so many issues I was intrigued by, like, because the sex part isn't there, but like that's only like 1/10 of the actual film. And I think that's
the first act, really.
Well, I think some people, they focus on like, oh, it's just like she's having sex, but like, okay, she is, but that's one aspect of the story. It's not the entire story. It's not like she's it's like this isn't Showgirls. You know what I mean?
Is it set within a kind of almost Jules Verne Dickensian version of reality rather than feeling it's a true story set in a historical context? Does that make sense?
Yeah, because with William Dafoe's character, he plays a scientist. So like you see stuff like you see like a duck's head on a dog's body walking around and things like that. So
a duck's head on a what body?
On a dog. So you have a dog walking, a dog's body that has like a duck's head.
I feel like there must be a still of this on here somewhere. It would be good if we could.
But Mark Ruffalo plays maybe it's because he's the actor he is, but he's a scumbag, to say the least.
Because I mean that shit there, that this is not of Earth historical timeline design. That's like something out of a Jules Verne novel.
Yeah, and that's what's cool with the color palette, because they go almost there's parts black and white, parts color, and when they shift between the two of them, it's really interesting. Just like seeing how black and white is to the very vibrant colors. I was really intrigued by it.
It's very over stylized, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's up for best actress, I think.
I'm not sure, but if she is, she deserves it. She's very good, because you just, like I said, you see between Act 1 and Act 3 a very big transition from where she starts to where she ends.
This is not a still from the movie. This is Northern last Sunday morning.
Oh my god!
God!
Mark
Someone's filmed that. Damn. I look good though.
Man, your Sean Connery chest is looking hairy. I keep meaning to watch this, and
I was shocked how much I laughed, because like some of her dialogue, it's hilarious. Like especially with her and Mark Ruffalo when she first comes into her sexuality, we'll say, and some of the people in the audience or the theater were laughing too. It's like it's unintentional dark humor, but it's really well done.
Well, I mean, the guy who made that movie, Yargos, whatever, The Favorite, is weird. I liked it. The Lobster is super weird. Didn't really like it. I did love Killing of a Sacred Deer. Thought that movie was good, but it's freaky and weird and kind of scary.
Yeah.
Gord King says, can't say I'm too interested in Poor Things. Look, dude, Michael Cera's not up for an Oscar this year.
I can tell
That's
that
all
I don't think the
That's all I'm
trailer.
going to say.
The
We're going to be
trailer's
talking about the Oscars on Gord Keen's channel right after this,
Yeah.
FYI.
I can
Oh,
tell that.
yeah. Is he doing that tonight?
Yeah, after this.
In about an
Oh,
hour and
good.
45
Let me know,
minutes.
man. I might pop on that. If there's room.
I'll be on there.
Yeah. No, even like when it came out a few months ago, the trailer, it's one of the things, but the trailer doesn't do it justice. After watching it, I'm like, because I on the way home, I watched.
Well, it's one of those movies where you probably can't give away all the cool stuff, in the trailer. Everyone's talking about the Monkey Man movie that came out, the trailer. It's like the trailer's 3 minutes long, dude. What? Give away the whole movie.
Also,
I deliberately haven't watched that trailer, by the way, because somebody told me not to because it will give away everything.
Yeah, on top of some of the marketing, it's like, that's the main. I kept hearing about that. Oh, like Emma Stone, she has sex in the film. That's the main appeal for the film. I was like, no, take away that aspect of the film. You still have a well-written movie with some good dialogue.
Poor Oscar bait things. That's funny. Fiona, you're funny. We like you.
What would you give it out of 10?
Me, I honestly 9 out of 10 easily.
All right, okay.
Oh.
No, that's what I said. I'm looking forward to eventually when you guys see it. Me and Ends, like I could do a very good breakdown. Like I was shocked by how many different plot threads they fit into one movie. And I was like, I didn't expect it for a film that was supposed to be like, oh, it's all about her having sex. Like, no, it's really not. Watch it. It's good.
Did you thanks, Gord, I got that link, appreciate it. Did you find that trailer?
No. There's a game for something that's recent called sleeping something. Is that the video game you're talking about? There's no old Super Nintendo ads.
No. I saw this ad. It was in the cinema. Would have been probably around. I mean, she would have been young. She would have been like 10. And they did this weird thing with her face where they stretched it so she looked like.
Oh my God, mother! I'm sharing my screen right now. This is not Emma Stone, is it? No way.
Oh God, here we go.
Let me share. Sorry. I got it.
I mean, maybe I got it wrong, and it's not Emma Stone, but
it's not her. But dude, I know exactly. I pulled this up as a joke, and it's so weird how you are
because it really looks like her.
No, it doesn't. But I like where you're thinking, dude.
Okay. All right.
Wait. Hang on.
Bearing in mind that I am remembering it from about 15 years ago.
No harm. Let me share my audio. That's important. There you go. All right, here we go. Famous PlayStation ad directed by Chris Cunningham. If you guys don't know who he is, he also made some.
I'll know straight away.
You know exactly. Yes.
I remember the.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Jesus.
I've never been the human.
Special effects, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Chris Cunningham, he did the special effects for a lot of movies.
I got it in my head that this was Emma Stone, but do you know what? I've never seen it thin, and I just her face stuck in my head, and I was always trying to think who is that, and their face has been. Then when I saw Emma Stone, I thought, oh, she must have done that ad when she was a kid.
Yeah. Well, this look, the eyes wide apart. It's all the rage now.
But isn't there like a shot with that's the shot I remember.
Yeah. So Chris Cunningham, in case you guys don't know, he does a lot of the Aphex Twin music videos, and he's got a background in special effects. He worked on Alien Resurrection, a bunch of other movies, but dude, the guy is, I wish he would make a movie. He's only made like commercials and weird, awesome music videos. He did Rubber Johnny, Window Licker, really cool stuff. So recommend. But yeah, that's so funny how I just had this pulled up as a joke and you happened to bring it up, Lance. Like, what are the odds?
Great minds think alike, man, or strange minds. You recently watched Sexy Beast the movie again, or for the first time, or again?
No, I'd seen it before. I'm a huge, like I said, Jonathan Glazer. I like his movies, and
well, we're going to talk about Sexy Beast the TV show.
Yeah.
Before we do, who has seen the original movie here?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's brilliant.
Been a while.
Absolutely brilliant.
Ben Kingsley. Yeah, but you've seen it. It was a big deal when it came
crocodile.
out.
Looked like a fat crocodile, mate. Yeah.
When did Sexy Beast come out?
Blue Collar, have you not seen it?
1999, I think.
I've seen it. It's just been a while.
2000.
98 or 99 when it came out.
So it's like right around the same time Snatch is out and right before Layer Cake. So like, these British early 21st century British gangster movies I really loved. There was a cool vibe going on around this time. Yeah,
it was. Everything was kind of. There was still a lot of momentum after kind of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels of this new kind of high concept, fast paced editing, sort of almost, I don't know, you know, it was a certain style that we hadn't seen before that got old very quickly. But everybody,
it's all Quentin Tarantino, everyone trying to rip off that Pulp Fiction Reservoir Dogs style.
Yeah, it was kind of, I would say it was born out of that actually. And of course, he in turn took his styles from other movies, but
of course,
eventually things morph and become their own. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, the original Sexy Beast movie, which stars Ray Winston and Ben Kingsley, is about sort of two old gangster mates catching up with each other in Spain right after one of them is nearly killed by a big rolling boulder coming down a hill. It plays out like a play, so it's not a big action heist movie or anything. It's very much a talking heads piece. Now we have, set in the 1990s, Sexy Beast, the TV series. Same writer, producer. And I had no idea this was being made. I just happened to hear about it from somebody, and I thought, well, I'll watch the first episode, and I was hooked immediately. And there are 3 episodes out, and I binged them. It predominantly revolves around shall we just call them a crime crew of sort of 5 London lads who get involved in a bit of a feud between 2 higher up gangsters. One of whom is played by, quite chillingly played by, let's find him, this chap, who some people will recognise from the Twilight saga and all of that.
True Blood. No, True Blood.
True Blood, thank you. I knew it was one or the other.
I was like, he's not in Twilight. I know the Twilight movies by heart.
Remind me of this actor's name.
Isn't
he married to Anna Paquin?
Yeah, she met him on True Blood.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I forgot his
name. He's good in this.
Stephen
really is.
Let's see.
So, did all of you manage to watch the first 3 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah. My God.
Stephen Moyer. Yeah.
That scene in the nightclub. Where,
second episode.
Yeah.
What are you looking at the back of your head?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. That was kind of weird because when he said that line, I just thought, so what does he mean? He's when he walks away, he's gonna shoot him, you know. And,
so this show takes place in England, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Takes place in England in the late 1990s. Ecstasy's at its height. You know, and there's a lot of attention to period detail with the clothing, the cars, the fashion, all of that stuff, the music. So it's quite you're right into that era, and if you grew up in that era, which I did, it's really it's really good. Now, Melvin, it's funny that you should mention Ray Winston and his character of Carling in Scum, because the scene to which we were just referring is not dissimilar to a scene in Scum. Yeah, that came out of nowhere, and I was quite like, is this happening? Oh my God, you know, it was nuts. It was pretty heavy.
So this seems very different from the movie. Then this is a prequel. Then I'm guessing they're all young.
My understanding is it's the same characters, and my understanding is it's a prequel.
This guy on the right is Ray Winston, aka Gale or Gal, right?
Yeah.
And there's another guy who Ben Kingsley's character Don.
That's him on the left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Don Logan. Oh, okay, so he's an asshole. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Because in case you guys haven't seen the movie's like, this guy Ray Winston, he's old and he's retired in Spain.
Yeah.
And Don Logan shows up and demands he starts working for him again. He doesn't want to, and then craziness ensues.
Yeah.
But it's a short little, an 89-minute movie, and it's got, you know, a lot of cool stuff in it, but this seems way more involved.
You don't need to have seen the movie to enjoy this. Like I said, it's set earlier.
Cool. Supplemental.
They're kind of small-time criminals getting dragged into the big time that they don't really want to be in. Some of them are in favor of it. Some of them aren't. They've got their own crew. They end up at this quite, I don't know that it's really a swingers party, but there's a lot of interesting things going on. And Don gets stuck on his own at one point. This is that shot. And he's socially dysfunctional, so he just can't interact with people properly without things kicking off. But he wants to. And I think there's quite a bit of repressed homosexuality going on with his character as well. But it's really well done. I mean, I was quite impressed with it actually. Just it felt like it had. I'm sure it didn't have a massive budget, but it felt big. The world felt big, and I liked that about it. The party scenes were epic. You know, she was great. Tamsin Greig is this kind of low-level kind of criminal with her own patch. Atom Gray, who looks a lot like her in real life, is saying, "I feel represented." That's good, mate. Like that.
She's actually pretty intimidating this because she's mostly been well known for her comedy roles, hasn't she? Like
yeah,
Black
she I mean, Stephen Moyer is not well known for playing hideous bad guys. His character is proper nasty in this.
He is.
So, funnily enough, I used to own one of those paddling pools, and it was as about effective as that.
Yeah. James McArdle actually does play a very good young gal. I actually saw him as a younger Ray Winston there for a second.
Yeah, I've not seen James McArdle in a lot. Is he a relative of the other McArdle?
I have no idea. I even looked up his in-net movie database. I cannot really recognize anything he's been in, to be honest.
Him and Em and Elliot are both sort of, they're not. It's not their breakout roles, but they haven't done loads. And they're both really good. Sarah Green is good.
Yeah, I could sort of see it being like a young Amanda Redmond. I just thought her storyline with the all her trying to get her own porn industry was starting to wear thin a little bit.
That storyline is a bit weak. Yeah.
She doesn't seem, because in the film she seemed like, yeah, she's strong. She's got strength to her, but she seemed more willing to be supportive to her husband than just trying to do her own thing all the time.
Yeah, and her husband or boyfriend, I'm not sure if they're married, but he's just a dick as well.
Yeah. Why didn't you sell them my ideas? I got good ideas, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, I'm really liking this. Give the first 3 episodes collectively 7.5 to 8 out of 10. But in terms of production design, lighting, the way it's shot, all of that stuff, there's a few 9s to be had there if you were breaking it down individually. Most of the performances are really strong. Some of the supporting characters are very sort of caricature. They're a little bit cliched, but it is in that world of Snatch and Lock, Stock. It's hyper stylized version of London at that time. You're not looking at history. You're looking at a hyper stylized drama. So just take it on that level. Yeah. So, Atom's saying he meant the socially awkward guy, but he feels he's embracing Tamsin Greig at the same time. So we understand, sir. All good. Good to have you on the channel, mate. Good to see you again. You're always popping up. Yeah. So I liked it. What did everyone else rate it?
Yeah, it's been pretty decent so far. I'm hoping it keeps this up in the next episode and doesn't go off.
Enzo, Blue.
I didn't watch it yet. I'll watch it now.
No. Yeah. I mean, I will.
Like I said, I even know is that Lance.
Add it to the list.
Okay. All right. That's another one to put. I'm gonna drop a couple of others on you that I know you guys haven't watched, but these are strong recommendations from me. I have a feeling this one is going to end up on a Best of British episode. That is Criminal Record. This is,
Oh.
without a
I
doubt.
have been seeing this advertised. Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
good. Well, we can talk about it a bit then, instead of me prattling on for 10 minutes.
No, prattle away. It's your channel.
But yeah, the Criminal Record. Basically, Kush Jumbo is a young detective on the force investigating a 999 call, the equivalent of a 911 call in America, from a woman who claims to have information on an old case given to her by her boyfriend, who said that he put an innocent person away for a murder that he committed. That the person who put that person away is Peter Capaldi's character, who's an old school, quite grumpy but extremely influential detective, Daniel Haggerty, and he's clearly covering up something, along with a couple of his other team, one of whom is played by Sean Dooley, who's an actor I really like as well. You've got some standout supporting cast in the show, the likes of Kathy Tyson, who came to see supported my last play. She came to see it. Charlie Creed Miles, who's also playing another dodgy detective and is in hospital for most of the show. Janet Coomer is in it, who I directed in a play way back, Victoria Climbier Inquiry, I think it was. Zoe Wanamaker, who was in the very first Prime Suspect. So, you've got Stephen Campbell Moore as well, very good actor. So you've got some fantastic British cast in here. Quite a few interesting new younger actors as well, all of whom are making their mark quite nicely. But it's good. I mean, it's pretty gripping. She's kind of out of her depth, but she doesn't want to give up. He starts trying to shut her down. It's interesting. It's a good show. It's kind of annoying because the show that I had developed, I had a cop show developed it went all the way to the top in Amazon, and eventually it got shut. It didn't get commissioned, but it was about a corrupt cop, and his younger partner would have looked exactly like her. She was kind of half mixed. She was mixed raced and half Maltese. So Vex is in the house. So we were talking about Henry Cavill in ratio to Hex dampness earlier. We'll come back to that. So good to see you.
He has that effect.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a good show. This is Northern. How many episodes of it have you seen?
No, I haven't seen the episodes. I've seen it advertised, but I've not watched the show yet. Hello?
Chizzy Kodaloo, who's here, she's a good friend of mine. I'm hoping to get her on the channel at some point. She takes the initial 999 call, so her character pops up a few times as she's interviewed. It's good. It's good. I highly recommend it. One season only. I think it's 8 episodes altogether. It's dropping weekly, and again, it's on Apple TV. So if you signed up to see Masters of the Air, you can also see that.
Apple's putting out some good stuff, man. Apple TV.
Apple and Paramount are from what I've seen, they're doing the right thing, which is they're paying attention to quality rather than quantity.
Yeah. Like you're saying in your review for Masters of the Air, people can question the storyline, but production-wise, I'm watching it on my television. I'm like, who said this looks cheap? Like, what are you, nuts? Like, are you watching on your phone or something? Like,
Bezos has a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
Some people have said that the visual effects in Masters of the Air don't look good. I could not disagree more highly. I mean, you really feel like you're in the plane when you're in with the cramped guys, and it's all like that. And the effect shots, I mean, they look good. They look good.
I remember when I first got my iMac, I had a free 1 month trial of Apple and the first season of C with Jason Momoa. And even with C, like, production value wise, I'm watching the show. I'm like, this is a television show. Like, I'm going to catch up on season 2 and 3, but season 1 was fantastic in terms of the backgrounds and stuff and the setting.
Right. Well, I recommend Criminal Records. We'll have a deeper chat about it when everybody's seen it. But guys, add it to the Nielsen ratings list. Watching is mandatory. Okay, so I'm going to hit you with another one now. Did anybody see season 1 of Trigger Point last year?
Negative.
Anyone?
No.
Bueller? Anyone? Okay, so I'm going to do that joke every week. So basically, it's set in a bomb, sort of a bomb disposal unit. These are people that deal with terrorist bomb threats, etc. It's like a specialist unit, predominantly set in London. Stars Vicky McClure. There is Mark Stanley from Game of Thrones, who I'm also hoping to get on the channel, predominantly because he lives up the road from me. I keep seeing him in the supermarket, and one day I'm just going to corner him and see if I can get him to come on. Well, I won't corner him, but you know. Yeah, it's the first season was out last year. 6 45-minute episodes.
Okay.
Second season continues straight on. It's a separate storyline, same characters, picks up where season 1 leaves off. Vicky McClure, very good in the central role. I've got a good friend of mine in the show who has Nabil Ekulabi, who's done an interview on my channel. You can see it. He talks about doing season 1 of Trigger Point. Season 2, they gave him a much bigger role, which is, I'm playing the same character, but he just had a much bigger part, which is really nice. I'm just trying to see if we can get a still of him. But yeah, it's got pretty high production value. Good show, well made. And I think there'll probably be a third season. It's kind of up there with Line of Duty in terms of production standards.
Yeah, is she kind of playing this similar character like Vicky McClure?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's a fair criticism that you could say it's almost like her character transferred to a different department. And, you know, because her character is pretty similar. Because in Line of Duty, she played a very diligent, competent policewoman who had a couple of personal issues that occasionally infringed with her life. In Trigger Point, she plays a very competent policewoman who's extremely good at her explosive expert particular area of knowledge, and occasionally has some personal issues which infringe in her professional world occasionally.
Yeah,
but
she's pretty underrated when it comes to playing strong female characters, because she's good in This Is England as well. I mean,
she's one of the best actresses we have in this country, and the best of her generation. She came up through Shane Meadows, who I sort of grew up with. I don't mean as kids. I mean we when we were both becoming filmmakers, and we lived in Nottingham at the same time, borrowing each other's cameras and things. And Shane went on to have a fantastic career, really lovely guy, but very much kind of, you would call him a salt of the earth director who came from the streets. And Vicky McClure is the same. She's not someone who came from a posh, rich family. So there's something very real about her.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it because, she's... This Is England. I mean, that's definitely how you play a strong character without it coming off as like a bloody self-insert or anything.
Yeah, her whole storyline with Stephen Graham in This Is England was extremely well done. And
her abusive dad. What's with I forgot the name of the guy who plays her dad though, but man, he was terrifying in that.
Actually, mate, you know what? We should do a best of British This Is England season 1.
I would definitely do that, man.
Yeah, and
I love that show.
I'd see if I can get Shane to pop on. Haven't spoken to him in a really long time, but
Shane Meadows himself.
Yeah, but he won't have forgotten me. Trust me.
I would be up for that. I love Shane Meadows. The guy's a bloody genius. He's not pretentious with anything. Even with the money he's made off films, he doesn't have a budget either.
He still lives where he grew up, which is in the town with the brewery just south of Nottingham, near Derby somewhere. And I went there once. So I won't get it on Google now, but
Yeah.
I forget, but he sort of just kind of moved back there and sort of stayed there. Didn't move into down to London. Wait, is Trigger Point based off guns off the female lead's personal tics? No, it's a good show. It's a good show. I give it solid 8 out of 10. I really like it. Ted Lasso. Yeah, I haven't seen all of the last season, which I believe is the final season, but I did enjoy Ted Lasso. It's a good stick it on before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Television show. Has anyone got anything else before I come on to my next personal one that I've been watching? Anyone?
I've been catching up a little bit on Batman the Animated Series again. It's just so good. I mean, for something that was made for kids on a Saturday morning, it's so much more maturely written than any superhero movies that are out, even the ones for adults.
Yeah.
This is the Kevin Conroy thing, right?
The best one
Kevin
ever.
Conroy as well. Was apparently being murdered in his final role, sadly. That new Suicide Squad. I don't like it.
Calm down.
There's so much controversy with that game.
They killed the Justice League, just like the title says. And what do you want? I don't know.
Yeah.
Northern, why is this a picture of you on a Saturday night? What's going on here?
I need to cut down on the bloody absinthe. I really do.
That's Richard. That's Richard Mole voicing this role, and this is Two-Face, right?
I like
it. That is such a good episode as well. I mean, it's absolutely terrifying. It's sad. It's tragic. Everything that makes a perfect Batman character, Batman animated series episode.
This is funny actually because, like, on the right is kind of me looking in the mirror, and on the left is how I hope other people see me.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know that I've watched any of these.
They're good. Me and Mother watched them recently, and even she liked them. You know,
I mean,
especially like some of the better episodes, like the
Mark Hamill does the Joker, right?
He's doing the Joker on many shows, but yes,
one of these.
Well, that was the first iteration. Right. That's blew my mind. It's like I'm watching this show for years because it came out when I was like 10, and then next thing it's like, hey, like Luke Skywalker's voicing the Joker. I'm like, no way, that doesn't sound nothing like Luke
I didn't believe that either.
And then I seen behind the scenes. I'm like,
I got to give this lady a shout out. So Sandy Q, by the way, has her own little YouTube channel which focuses on historical stuff to do with the American Civil War, particularly her family. And she's tracing her kind of family history and who fought where and all of that kind of stuff. And she has a huge interest in preservation of American Civil War battlefields and monuments and things of this nature. So she popped up on my gaming stream where I was playing the South last night about 3:00, and I was doing the Battle of Antietam. And what I didn't realize at the Battle of Antietam was that if I didn't make all my units max strength, I was basically going to get proper shafted. And I played it twice and I got completely butchered and destroyed. But she came on the stream with me and was my guest.
Nice.
Watching my army get decimated. And we talked about the battle and all kinds of stuff. So Gooch is in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hey, man.
Yeah. So always a pleasure. And we've got Tomby also in the house. I should probably watch some of these at some point.
Yeah, for many people, it's like this is like the definitive Batman, just because how well written it is and voice acting.
Do you know when
Adrian Barbeau from Adrian Boobies from Escape from New York is Catwoman.
Yeah.
Also Catwoman.
Yeah, also a great collection of rogues that you don't see in, all the movies use the same 5 or 6 villains over and over again. There's so many other villains that you never ever see. We still haven't seen Clayface in a movie, or Man-Bat.
No. Yeah, Ron Perlman plays him as well, and I've only just got off watching that episode, and he plays the part of Matt Hagen so well. He's like this total arrogant, angry arsehole, but you do feel sorry for him, though. Especially in the predicament he's in.
Is there an episode with King Tut in?
No.
Probably.
I don't think I remember King Tut.
King Tut was in the Adam West Batman.
Yeah, he's in it. Adam
Which
West
actually-
is in it
That
though.
would have been funny.
Adam West
Yeah,
is in it.
West does show up, and yeah, good stuff.
I mean, the Adam West Batman, that was, that was mandatory viewing in my house
Yeah,
when I was growing up.
the Great Ghost.
Yeah, even John Vernon from Outlaw Josie Wales is on it as Rupert Thorne, the gangster.
Bam, 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 bam.
What's the name of the British actor from The Omen as well? The one who gets his head chopped off.
Gregory Peck. Oh no, you're
David
thinking
Warner,
of
David Warner.
David Warner.
I saw David Warner was.
Rachel Gull.
I saw his name come up there.
They've had loads of actors on there.
All right. Good show.
Yeah, the whole
show is they painted on they use dark black paper and they paint ink on black paper. That's why it has this look.
Well, I was gonna say, like, the main appeal when it came out, Lance, for a lot of us, because it was the first animated show that it came out like on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. and 7 p.m. It wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon, so it was marketed to being like a prime time, like kids but kind of adult show, and it started tackling themes that wasn't really like most cartoons weren't tackling, like Mr. Freeze, like the Heart of Stone, and it just like seeing what these characters were going through. It's like you guys are putting out a Batman show at 7 o'clock at night, and they piggybacked off the Michael Keaton and Danny Elfman soundtrack, and it was so ahead of its time. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
man?
but it also had that great
though.
Superman Fleischer cartoon like throwback quality to it.
For anyone
it looks, sorry.
No, for anyone who doesn't remember, this is King Tut from Adam West's Batman.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah. Yes, he did. I think it was Victor Bruno, I believe, is the guy who played. And that's Grace Lee Whitney on the right, by the way, guys, from Star Trek. So, who, of course, was Gene Roddenberry's Flame. Well, one of his many affairs.
Yvonne Craig is on the original Batman series as well, with as Batgirl, and she was on Star Trek as one of the Green Alien women.
I mean, I know I'm really showing my age here, but did anyone ever watch the original animated Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, the one that had the really psychedelic colors and it,
I've
seen plenty of memes from it.
The one with the song. I used to really love that show, and I never saw all the episodes, and it didn't get repeated enough. And then eventually there was a big song and dance. Spider-Man was coming back, so I was fully expecting to see that show again, and it wasn't that show. It was Spider-Man and his amazingly crap friends. It was called that, but without the word crap in it. But it was crap. It was terrible show. And I was not a big fan, but there was a lot of great feelings. There was a lot of great baddies in that you've never seen, like Mole Man and the Rhino. Sandman we did get in Spider-Man 2, I think, but there was loads of great baddies. The Scorpion and. What about the Mad Hatter? Was he in the animated Batman?
He's a Batman,
yeah. Played by Planet of the Apes legend Roddy McDowall as well.
They did a good job, like bringing his character back and trying to make him not lame.
I feel like I'm going to have to. That's going to be a good one for me to watch. For those people looking for changing gears a little bit from animation, if you're looking for a good show to put on before you go to bed, like that kind of half-hour sort of Schitt's Creek vibe, then I have to recommend this show, which I've only just started watching. I think it was out a few years ago. I really like it. It's very funny. Kind of, it's got lots of curmudgeoning going on. So Enzo, possibly something for you. Yay. That is Loudermilk. Loudermilk is now on Netflix, starring Ron Livingston. He is basically a drugs and alcohol counselor. He's going to get chucked out of the room he uses to run his group unless he looks after the daughter of a rich client of the church, and so he kind of takes her under his wing. Lots of chaos ensues. It's a good show. I'm really enjoying it. It's got a good supporting cast. There's a lot of fun gags. This is the actress who plays the wayward daughter who causes him lots of problems. So that looks like the local comic book crew. This is the priest who is Ron Livingston's boss. Yeah, it's anyone else seen it?
No,
Nope.
probably.
Okay.
It does
Anyone?
almost.
Bueller?
It
Anyone?
does almost. It does almost remind me of Flaked a little bit, though, because that's about like a recovering alcoholic who runs his own like Alcoholics Anonymous little thing, but he's kind of a mess himself, and he ends up kind of relapsing. It's
So does this mean you've seen it?
I've not seen this one, no.
Right.
I've only just heard of it now.
Because one of the things that's interesting is that Matt, I'm trying to remember his surname. He'll be in the credits here. Matt Fraser, who I've met a couple of times. He was a stand-up comedian in the UK, and he's known for his disability and playing roles that accentuate that. Is in the show, and it was the first time I'd seen Matt in anything for absolutely forever, and he's a really, really incredible human being in real life. He did this whole 90-minute stand-up show basically about his disability, but taking the piss out of himself. And the show was called Seal Boy because that's what he used to get called at school because he had short little seal arms, you know. Yeah, it was fun, and he was really just a really endearing guy. So I really enjoyed seeing him in this, because I haven't seen him in much. I think he's better at doing stand up than he is taking on mainstream stuff. But the fact that now you see he's a drummer. He's in a band and he's a drummer in Loudermilk. And he is a drummer in real life, and he's a bloody good drummer too. And everybody's like, "How's he going to reach the drums?" And you know all that. But he is. He's very, very good. Fiona is watching it. She is on. She's going to put my panel to shame here. I'm on season 2, episode 5. This comment from Vex has been edited. Loudermilk season 1 was great. Season 2 was quite good because Henry Cavill was mentioned 50 times, but season 3 was woke garbage. Henry Cavill was only mentioned once. I just read out the unedited version. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only on season 1. But you know when you go to bed and you want a half-hour show that you can kind of start like nodding off to? Big Mouth was the one I was watching before. That's finished now. I have to wait for the new season when the kids start high school. Now I'm on Loudermilk. So
happens with plenty of shows. Remember the Kiefer show, Designated Survivor, season 1 and 2 were fantastic. Season 3, I'm like, what happened? Boy, that's a way different show. Like,
did you say Survivor?
It was Designated Survivor.
Oh, Designated Survivor.
Yeah.
I kind of saw season 1 of that.
Yeah.
It was a great premise that didn't really have the budget to carry it off.
Yeah.
And I sort of kind of gradually lost interest.
Wait, I found at least like season 1 and season 2 kept the same tone. Once it's season 3 and they went right to Netflix, boy, it's just you can tell a whole different direction for that show. A lot of a lot of messaging that wasn't there in season 1 and 2.
Right.
I'm like, what happened, guys?
Jeez. What? Let me go around the panel now. Who's got their kind of go-to show that way? And chat, you can jump in with your own suggestions here. Who's got their half-hour show that they whack on before sleepy time? I'm not talking about Bash the Bishop time. I'm talking about after
the way you said that.
After Pornhub. After Pornhub, you're still a bit awake. You need half an hour to decompress from whatever debauchery you've been indulging in.
I've been loving the new Ted, and everyone that's doing really good ratings. People,
is that the Ted TV series?
Yeah, it's a 25.
Pretty funny.
It's a 25-minute show. My sister's like, Chris, watch this. I think it's really good. Seth knows the character, and it's 20, 22 minutes, and it keeps the same comedy as Ted, so I'm fine with it.
Is it? I mean, is it the same actors?
No, well, because this is back in the 90s, so Mark Wahlberg's character's younger.
Oh,
so
of course,
so,
yeah.
But
I think this is a prequel. It's set.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
I think it still keeps like Ted's still a teddy bear that smokes pot and does drugs, and like I like the one line. He's like, the one thing no one ever tells you about driving drunk, how fun it is. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's a pretty un-PC thing to say these days.
I think Seth does a great job making fun of woke culture, because some people are bitching that his cousin, she's like very woke, and I'm like, yeah, but then they're constantly making fun of how woke she is. So that then he does that with Family Guy a lot, because she's very, very politically correct in the 90s, and they're constantly making fun of her for being so politically correct. Because Ted and the family, they do a lot of stuff that you couldn't do in 2024. So I think the prequel aspect is smart, because they're in the 90s making fun of stuff that we can't say nowadays.
I watch Lance streams at sleepy time. They work great. Thanks for that. I think I do sleepy time movies. Shows are tough for me to sleep to. We understand, Michael. You got early call times to be on that set. Jamalama says, I put on anything that's interesting for me to fall asleep. I get absorbed and drift off. I have to have something on. Clothing, hopefully. Ted's getting washed here.
Yeah.
They do get a lot out of that.
Yeah, like one point.
The animation of that character with his face, they get a lot out of it.
Oh, definitely.
Have you seen the clip of him? Have you seen the clip of him talking about the film Alive? It's like,
yes.
Wait, what's the eat people? It's like, do they kill him? It's like, yeah.
What?
Like, plus they have to eat men as well, so it's double gross. It's like, wait, why are you coming to that conclusion? Well, it's men, isn't it? Yeah, but why are you coming to that specific for? It's like,
it's great. I love it.
I don't want to ask where all those carrots had been in that previous shot. Try watching an older show called Better Off Ted. Did they do another show?
Oh, I remember. Better Off Ted, wasn't that like a camera movie, hidden camera? No, not hidden. Like a isn't like it's following. It's like a Truman Show type thing. I don't remember.
Yeah, 2009, 2 seasons. Yep.
I don't remember.
I didn't watch too much of it. I remember it though.
A TV series of the Truman Show could have been, or that concept at least. Like, who do we get in after and make a big star? Could have been an interesting, because there's a lot of mileage with that whole setup. It is a perfect one-off movie, though. I'm glad they didn't do a sequel.
Yeah, this was like after Enzo last night, I was streaming and be nice and drunk, and a whole box of cheese crackers and watching this show. I was dying at 4 o'clock in the morning.
And if you go to Russia, you can watch.
You do.
The TV series.
That's what really hurts.
No, I can see Enzo doing this, because this is a show that if Enzo watches the show high, he's gonna love it, because Ted's high every episode.
You don't know me.
I like the way there's all this smoke coming out of the locker. You got a weed sticker on the door.
That was my locker in high school for sure.
Going back to where it all went wrong. Love it.
Went right.
Yeah, especially like the callback. So they have to rent a VHS tape and stuff, to rent the first porno he's ever seen. The whole how the comedy behind that in the 90s. So go to the adult section when you go to a video store. These guys had to get fake IDs. The whole thing.
Melvin says you're confusing Ed TV with Better Off Ted. So it's Ed TV.
There you go. Ed TV. That's right. Matthew McConaughey.
I remember Ed TV. Yeah, I remember Ed TV. Scrubs. That was Scrubs. Sorry, not Shrubs. Scrubs. That was a good movie. I haven't seen Brockmire with Hank Azaria. That went down the tubes in the final season. So okay, well, I guess I'm probably not going to watch it then. Anyone else got a kind of a favorite sort of light half hour show that they like putting on? So that was yours, Chris. What about What about you, Stupenzo?
Oh, I mean, that I like putting on all the time. I mean, Mr. Show with Bob and David, old episodes of The Simpsons, South Park. Lately, I'm about to finish The Bear. I'm going to finish The Bear probably tomorrow and finish
That's
my
season
last batch
2.
of, yeah,
on
finish
season
my
2?
last batch of hot beef sandwiches with it. It's like my new
Ooh.
thing. Just making hot beef sandwiches and watching The Bear. It's going to be fun.
Second season as good as the first?
Yeah, so far, we're liking it.
Have you guys seen the TV show of Boiling Point yet? You know, that was the movie.
No, I like the
I
movie,
haven't
though.
seen the movie yet.
You got to
Haven't
watch
seen
the
the movie.
TV show is good. 6 episodes. Every
Is the
episode
TV
has got
show all
like
one take too? No, right?
No. So the original show was all done in one take, and it's a real one take, no cheating.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But what they do with the TV series is in every episode, there's one shot that's long, maybe about 5-10 minutes. And then the rest of the show is just done the normal way. And you might get another long shot somewhere else in the episode. So it still leans into the same style, but gives itself enough freedom to kind of cut to what someone else is doing at home 10 miles away, you know. So it's got that freedom now. It's good. It's good. It's a good TV series. Okay. Well, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark. Has anyone? Well, oh, sorry, Northern. What about you for your curmudgeoning half hour before bedtime?
Well, recently it has been Seinfeld. Sometimes Batman the Animated Series, depending. It just depends on what mode I'm in. But
Pretty sure you mentioned Seinfeld last week.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm still kind of on it. It's just finding the time to watch all these TV shows at the moment while trying to get reviews in and get some, slides or screenshots for my streams as well, because I'm trying to do that every Friday if I can.
Well, one thing that I'm definitely going to be watching this week, apart from the next episode of Masters of the Air in a couple of days, is this.
Yeah.
Oh God, I have so much catching up on that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, it's I saw every season as soon as they came out. I once they got rid of his wife, those seasons I preferred less because she was so good, and they were always great opposite each other. But it was so funny because there's the guy who plays his agent in the show, and I think it's Nick Garlin or somebody, Jeff Garlin, and Jeff Garlin is the spitting image of Harvey Keitel, right? Not Harvey Keitel, sorry, Harvey Weinstein.
I'd say, yeah.
And yeah, not Harvey Keitel.
I was like, wait a second.
Big difference.
Big difference. Yeah, sorry. Let's get the Harveys correct here. And I mean, look, it's only a matter of time before somebody does a Harvey Weinstein movie or the Fall of Harvey Weinstein miniseries. I personally think they should. They should do like a Rise and Fall of Miramax, because he was wasn't just the abuse with the ladies. He treated people just absolutely abominably.
Yeah.
Could tell you so many stories about him gaslighting one person or another, and people that came into Miramax and got spewed out the other side. They would try and set up their own production companies, and he would go after them. He would destroy them. Really vindictive man. So, how's that walker working for you, Harvey? Anyway, so
oh yeah,
he yeah, and I remember saying to my friend, "My God, you know, they got to cast that guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's got to play Harvey Weinstein in a Harvey Weinstein biopic." And the very next season, the first episode of the next season, they're going into a restaurant and they do a skit where he gets mistaken for Harvey Weinstein because he looks like him. So it must have been a conversation that must have been said God knows how many times. And as we're talking about it, let's get up the actor in question, because I want people to see if they don't know who I'm talking. So I'm talking about Jeff Garlin, who plays Jeff Green, the agent. I mean, look, if you're going to cast an actor to play Harvey Weinstein,
dude,
you've got to cast this guy, right?
Well, he had a little Me Too thing, didn't he?
Jeff Garlin?
Yes. He was like inappropriate also somewhere for some reason. I don't remember what.
Did it go to court?
No, of course. I doubt it. I don't think so.
Allegedly. Yeah. So, and he's listening to you there, and that's his face right now. So, I rate him as an actor. I think he's good, and I think he should play Weinstein if there is a. And I assume he's going to be in the new season.
I forgot, Lance. I look it up, man. That show started in 2000.
Damn, and I think it's season 20, isn't it? Or, no, he did a season every other year, didn't he?
Yeah. So no, this is officially season 12, the final season. So you figure every 2 years. So like, but 24 years to have a show. That's man.
Paced it right.
Oh, definitely.
Took his time. And I mean, some seasons have been better than others, but I've never watched a season of it and not enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's not like The Simpsons where you see the qualities drop down the past decade. Like,
yeah. I didn't know that Jeff Garlin played the voice of the captain of the ship in WALL-E.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
So he was the fat captain. Typecast again.
Never
He's got a
scripts
fat voice.
his episodes, does he? Larry David. He never properly scripts the episodes. He's sort of like
they're loosely scripted.
Does little notes, does he? Yeah, loosely. Yeah, like mostly notes and that. I
think there's an arc for each season. There's key dialogue scenes for each season, and then he gives the actors a lot of freedom, basically.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting that I had a quick. I'm curious to see what these misconduct allegations were, right?
Yeah.
For Mr. Garlin, primarily that he used inappropriate language and engaged in unwanted physical contact, such as hugging people or touching others without their consent.
What a monster!
I mean.
You sick man, you.
Look, okay, there were allegations. As far as I'm concerned, that's all they are. And
indeed.
Yeah, it just seems nuts, man. If you can't hug someone on a set now, but I guess you can't.
Oh yeah, remember Keanu Reeves hovering over these women's hips because he didn't want to get bloody Me Too'd or anything years back.
What was that during a sex scene or something?
No, he was just doing a photo with some fans, and he didn't have his hand on their hips or anything. It was actually hovering his hand over them, no physical contact.
Sort of like that.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
he's always like this, like he isn't because don't want to be accused of something.
Gina Bellman is a brilliant actor. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, Jeff Garlin used to do stand-up. I've seen some of his stand-ups, really good. David Macy has mentioned The Detectorists. Now, we need to do a Best of British episode about The Detectorists. Who has seen it?
I keep forgetting about it. I've only seen like one episode, but not all the way through, and I really need to.
It is a certain type of show. It's like if The Wire did a drama about people metal detecting with a bit of Larry David humor in it. That's The Detectorists. It's as slow as The Wire, but there's something really beautiful. There's something really clever about it, and it's just about these people that sort of, they're all quite dysfunctional, but they connect over this one hobby. I really like it. It's a great show. Toby Jones, of course.
Yeah, Mackenzie Crook as well. I always think it gets a little underrated, to be honest.
It's great. Mackenzie Crook is a fantastic actor. Really love him. And he's another one that we were supposed to have in Pegasus Bridge. Anyway, that's come up quite a lot lately. Yeah, okay. So I guess that's all all the shows we've seen or we want to talk about. Goes without saying, Blue Collar versus Ring Piece, brilliant film. You should check that out. Chris will be reviewing that on his channel at some point.
Sure.
So let's get into what my guests have got coming up before I tell you what else is coming up on the channel. Northern, what you got?
Well, at the moment, I'm in the process of doing my Roadhouse review. You know, the original one. Since the remake's going to be coming out soon, and I probably will review that as well.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And I've got a stream instead of Friday. It's going to be on Sunday with Ghost in the Craig. We're going to be doing License to Kill, very divided James Bond film, which I do kind of like, even though I get the criticisms.
What time? What time are you doing that stream?
I think might be around 9 or 10 my time. I need to look at my schedule again.
Yeah, my Masters of the Air stream is at 7 o'clock GMT. So I'm a massive James Bond fan, you know, so I could pop onto that potentially.
Yeah, I'll send you the link as well for you to save, just in case I forget, because I did last time with Heat. But
and funnily enough, I've got the soundtrack on vinyl.
God, of course.
So yeah, that's one of my favorite Bond films. Actually, is I'd say top 5 Bond films. In the top 5, The Living Daylights is definitely in there. I really did like that first Timothy Dalton outing. Just perfect blend of humor and good plot. Like the plot, you know. Really love that scene when they attack the British Manor House, and the guys dressed up as the milkman, and all the milk cartons are all bombs. You know. Yeah, it's a good sequence. Anything else, Northern?
Yeah, so far nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Okay, Melvin's just come up for a new name for my channel. It's called The Outcast Creative Hooten and the Lady. Liking that. That sounds very Alan Partridge. Blue Collar, what you got coming up?
So after Enzo goes to hang out with Gord King, we're finishing our Quentin. How do you say it, Enzo? Quentin
Januarantino, For the Love of Christ.
I can't say it.
I've got to do a stream on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at some point.
Oh, I'd have to watch. That's
a film that divided
people. A second time yet. I still haven't seen it. I've only seen it once still.
So we're watching True Romance tonight, which you know, some people, some people it's their favorite Quentin film, but you know, so we'll see how it turns out.
I like it.
Start calling me Don Vincenzo, please. It's my name. Don't wear it out.
Yeah. Right. Also, I have to promote. It's not for me, but if she's watching, definitely. Upcoming Vex Electronica is doing this. She's reading books and everything, and very like adult books, I guess. And I'm mentally preparing for that. You know, I got a bottle of wine, some candles out, and it's gonna be really good.
Hang on, sorry. She's going to be reading out adult books.
Yes, it's something Vex was talking about.
She was pulling in viewers there, won't she?
I mean, she's already. Right. I'll be sending super chats.
This is the way to 5,000 subs, lads. You know, get your mankini out and get out a Mills and Boone book and see if you can get the ice cubes for the nipples ready. See what you can do.
I've been playing some more Lances. So the second part's called Jedi Survivor, and I just made a post today. Like, you know, man, it sucks. We'll never get any kind of good live action Star Wars, but like in terms of storyline, why the game is good, but live action sucks. But I'm halfway through the game. It's such a great story. I wish we could get.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because the Timothy Zahn trilogy of books, which came out in the 90s, which basically was like the sequels. It was what happened to Luke and Han and Leia, and they had twins. They had a boy and a girl, Han and Leia. And there was a lost fleet, so they had that story with the lost hidden fleet of ships, and that's when Grand Admiral Thrawn first turned up. That was good. Yeah. They were good books. They were, that was a good story. You could have adapted that pretty faithfully. Paid Tim a few bucks.
Yeah. Well, I just said, like, I watched the one cutscene. A character fights Darth Vader. He does pop up, and just the imagery of like Vader. At one point, a whole bunch of like books, a whole Jedi archive shelf falls on him, and it's all covered in fire. And we defeated Vader. No, you didn't. He stands up, and he's just like glowing red, and it's like a horror movie. And guess what? Vader, he impales a woman with a lightsaber, and she dies. And I'm like, clearly these people aren't working for Disney, because imagine when you impale someone with a lightsaber and they die, because that doesn't happen on Disney Star Wars. So.
don't get me started on that. If we mention the word Mankini, Lord Toxic has confirmed in writing that he goes. Oh, sorry, wrong post.
Yeah.
That you guys just made me go from 6 to midnight.
Yeah, it's called the Spicy Book Club. I'm like,
It's Toxic's catchphrase
for Vex.
Yeah,
Vex says it too, though. Vex says 6 to midnight all the time. Also,
When she's ready.
good to know. I bet she'd like to see Henry Cavill's 6 to midnight.
it's more like 6 to 7.
Depends though. That's a good segue into your cue.
Well, it's funny because you guys just gave me an idea because a long time ago when I was doing the streams on Facebook for my buddies, I read a book in its entirety, and I think I might do it again. But it's not an erotic thriller or anything, adult fiction. It's called Barfarama, The Great Puke Off. It's a children's story that's utterly disgusting. It's from the 90s. Maybe I'll read that someday live. Maybe I'll not do it live. Maybe I'll edit it and have fun drawings with it. That's an idea. I'm going to put that on the to-do list. But as far as the rest of my... go ahead.
Is this like South Park where they write that book and everyone's just vomiting, just reading it?
Yeah, Scrody McBooger Balls. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Scrody McBooger Balls. It's about two teams of kids that are like warring each other off in like a great gross out competition. Yeah, it's pretty gross. There's pretty gnarly stuff going on in that kid's book. Other than that, I'm going to be on Gord King's channel in about 45 minutes. We're going to talk about our Oscar predictions for this year. And then after that, I'll be on The True Romance, watching my boy Don Vincenzo talk about eggplants. Also, what else? Wednesday, tomorrow, got me and Dark Hour Uninspired did a wee watch of Deep Rising, which I know you like, Lance. And
Jason's going to be coming on that stream, reenacting his favorite lines.
Yeah, you guys are doing when is your Deep Rising stream?
Well, I'm going to be organizing that around Jace.
Okay.
So it will probably be a random weekday evening.
All right. Well,
around 9 o'clock, I would think is normally a good time when he's put the kids to bed.
All right.
But he wants to be on it, so I'm going to basically do it when he's available.
We joke on the We Watch tomorrow about how it was so weird how we were supposed to stream with that guy like the other day, and he was like in the waiting room in the back room, like
he was waiting to come on. That was pretty interesting.
I also
sorry, go on.
What is it? I know I edited a bunch of Dark Hour. I love that guy, but him and Uninspired, they are getting into the nerdisms, the autisms in the street in the movie. I edited a lot of that out. A lot of 7-minute discussions about what's wrong with this guy's glasses or something they thought they saw earlier, or it's just a lot of that. So I'll spare you all that. Only the best jokes get the final cut.
What's like a 15-minute video?
No, it's 50 minutes. I always manage to keep the movie edited to about half the movie gets cut and the other half stays.
So I don't know why it's trending, and I'm just going to throw this out there because I feel like there must be some kind of documentary that just dropped in the UK, Northern. Please dig, and it's caused the hashtag TikTok murder gone viral to go viral. I think it's a documentary about 2 women who went to prison for I think it might be didn't a mother and that's right. They here we go. ITV viewers say the same thing minutes into harrowing TikTok murder gone viral. On Tuesday night, ITV viewers tuned in to watch one-off documentary about that's right. TikTok star Mahik Bihari and her 45-year-old mum. Yeah, they this is the story about the mother and daughter that planned the murder of it was a double murder of I think it was her ex-boyfriend that she ended an affair with, and these women just they didn't come across as Anyway, they're in prison now, but they actually hired some guys to run these guys off the road on the motorway, and there was an actual massive chase down the motorway, and there's a 999 call during the chase. So I guess that's all going to be in the doc. So that's what it's about.
Cheers.
So yeah, there's a interesting article here. It's caused a few complaints, so we better watch it quickly before it gets pulled.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, there's an interesting article there in the Daily Express. Have a look at that if you want to read about it. You want to read some more. Anything else, Sir Stepenzo? Sorry for that segue there.
No, that's about it. I mean, you know the drill. Mondays and Wednesdays on my channel.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe and follow me on Twitsters.
All right. So pretty busy couple of weeks coming up. We've got...
Thursday I'll be talking about Arcane, also a Diabolical Souls channel.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's a great show, man.
I'm liking it.
We've got well, obviously this is happening every Tuesday. So on Fridays I'll be doing my immediate gut reaction review to every episode of Masters of the Air as it comes out. 7 o'clock on Sunday there will be a more in-depth review with me and History Bro. Sometimes Critical Drinker and other guests will be on there. On Saturday, we're doing a Chew the Fat on the film At Close Range with Sean Penn and Christopher Walken. So it'd be great if some of you guys could be on there. Otherwise, I'll be talking about it on my own for about 90 minutes. It is one of the best films of the 1980s that most people didn't see. It's a slow burn, but it's really good, and you'll definitely appreciate it much more now than when it was released, because it was released at a time when there was a lot of big budget action movies, and you know, that was very much Beverly Hills Cop and so on, and that was very much the trend, and more kind of serious slow-paced dramas kind of were not really vogue. Now good quality films like that are quite hard to come by. So you will really appreciate this one. It's the only time Chris and Sean Penn have played actual brothers in a film that they're both in, as well as being brothers in real life. Very young Kiefer Sutherland is also in the movie. Watch out for him. Yeah, Chris Walken. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it. You're going to like it. Add it to that Lance list. But Saturday, we're going to be talking about it. 9 o'clock GMT. So,
Cool.
Northern, any chance of you coming on that?
I could give it a go, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to interrupt your time. So obviously, if it's don't
Nelson Muntz time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let it cut into the Saturday night dating. But yeah, if you can make it, man, that'd be good.
Yeah, okay. So I like Chris Penn. He's always been an underrated actor to me, and it's it's a shame he fucking died really young though. Yeah,
well, he's proper in shape in this film as well.
Yeah, he was back in the 80s, especially when he did Pale Rider.
This is like Footloose Chris Penn plus 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's not Reservoir Dogs Chris Penn, you know, where he's wearing a shell suit to conceal the fact that he's got a bit chunky. And yeah, he was a good actor. I mean, he didn't get as many opportunities as Sean, because he kind of, it's a bit like Patrick and Don Swayze. One of them got the looks, the other one didn't, but they're both good actors.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he's also in True Romance, which we're going to be watching later as well. He's one of the cops, and he gets that good line where he's grilling Bronson Pinchot, saying, "Plus, you want to fuck her in the ass because that pussy just won't be tight enough anymore."
Whoa!
Oh,
it's good. Good line, man. It's
what
a good
channel
line.
Are you on?
Yeah, man. Okay, I've got to take him out now.
It's
a movie
quote.
So, sorry, I had to stand my guest. Terrible behaviour. We won't stand for that sort of language here.
That's the film.
Mystery, man.
I didn't write it.
What? Oh, he's gone again.
Leave yourself.
All right. So, yeah. So, I've also got. Through me now. I've also got the Ron Underwood interview coming up on February the 13th. I think that's going to be think it's either 9 or 10 o'clock UK time. I forget. It's already up, so you can double check. Plus, possibly some special guests dropping in on that stream. You definitely don't want to miss it. Share the love, share the stream, be in the chat. It might be quite busy in the chat, so if you definitely want a question read out, pay for a super chat. However, if you are one of my regulars, I will do my best on your behalf because I do appreciate you.
It's going to be good.
But it might be quite hectic, so if I don't get to them, I'm sorry. And I am also going to be having actor Peter Mezenik coming in, who was in Addisonville. He played one of the main characters. In fact, he leads the revolt against the Brigand Union soldiers who are robbing and beating up everybody. He's going to be popping in, doing an interview about his whole career. So we're going to do a separate episode about Andersonville, which I'm also hoping he might pop into. But I'm going to interview him first, and then hopefully he'll have such a fantastic time, he'll want to come back. So obviously I'll be keeping Northern Bastard off of that interview to make sure that he returns. Fantastic. All right, good. I think that's probably it. So most Saturdays, if I'm not preoccupied in the real world, I will be doing either some kind of watch party or chew the fat. I've got the next one lined up for 2 weeks already, which is The Dish and The Castle. These are two excellent Australian films. Watch them. They're great. And then we can all talk about them. I think that's it from me and from him and from him and from that chat. No, wait, he's over there. Yeah. So until next time, I'll be back live on Saturday night and Sunday. I might be doing a game stream in the not too distant future. You know that what those are like. They pop up at random. Watch me get my ass handed to me in a hat at the Battle of Antietam again, if you like. I think that's it. Final words from my guests. Wait a minute. From most of them, not you. Anyone else?
See you next time.
F her right in the P. No, I'm joking.
All right. Thanks very much to my 4 guests: Blue Collar Loser, Stupenzo, Northern English Bastard, who lived up to his name. Everybody in the chat: Sandy, Melvin, David, Gord King, of course, who's going to be streaming shortly. Always a good time with you guys.
Okay, man.
We'll see you again real soon.
Take care, everyone.